Yes, a divine liaison. I mean, yeah, isn't the Pope like the direct conduit? I mean, the White Sox are good now.
They're not that good.
They had the worst record in the league last year, and now they're second in the division? No, they're top of the division.
They're respectable. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude.
I mean,
The papacy is back.
All right, guys, quick question. How are my Shady Rays basically the same quality as the $200 sunglasses I used to buy? And I'm not exaggerating. They feel every bit as premium as the expensive brands I've owned. Meanwhile, I'm wearing Shady Rays to the lake, on the boat, at the game, or on the job site, because if I drop them in the ocean, knock them off the deck, sit on them, day one, they will replace them. And here's the crazy part. They are actually premium. Polarized lenses that cut glare hard, super clear optics, and durable frames with solid hinges. Clean, classic styles that look sharp without trying too hard. If you're outside, on the water, in the sun, or just driving every day, you need shades that actually perform. Go to ShadyRays.com, grab a pair, and get sunglasses with lost and broken protection. We've teamed up with Shady Rays to bring you an exclusive offer. Head to ShadyRays.com and use code MACRO for 50% off 2 or more polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people.
Welcome back to Macrodosing. My name is Arian Foster, and that's what my mama named me. Big T in the building.
So my mama named me as well.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a wild big name. I danced with your mama at your wedding.
I saw.
We cut the fucking rug, dog.
It was weird. It was really weird.
How's that weird?
No, it was weird to see. Like, that's not something you anticipate ever seeing.
Yeah, Arian Foster dancing with your mom.
Yeah.
That would have been, you told yourself 15
grandma.
years ago that was going to happen. Yeah, that'd be.
And your grandma, and your grandma, yeah.
Damn.
And your dad. Me and your dad was like, you know what I'm saying? We was like jigging on the
I
side
didn't
with each
see
other.
that.
Yeah, we was like, I was teaching him, he didn't have the most rhythm, but I was giving him some.
Yeah,
some
for
pointers.
sure not. Yeah.
Yeah, we got T-Bob, Maddie, and Mac on the ones and twos. Thank you for tuning in. Where's Eric? He's
Lake Tahoe golf tournament with
Tahoe,
all the
you told me that.
cutting it up with all the movers and shakers.
My great
the
grandma.
people that make it happen in the world. He's with the people that make it happen.
For sure.
So us common folk, we just chilling here, doing our podcast, minding our business. For you guys, the listeners. How's everybody doing? How's everybody's week panning out? It is now Wednesday, but it's going to be Thursday when this comes out.
Is that a gold pun?
Panning
out? It's a great start, Aaron. Panning out. That was a gold pun. Works out perfectly.
That was a gold pun. What's the reference?
Like
pan for gold.
Yeah, you pan for gold.
You never done that?
No, I've never panned for gold.
Oh, we should go do that.
Yeah, those little like roadside attractions where you would get to go.
Well, I grew up in North Georgia. Go to
Yeah.
Dahlonega and pan for gold.
Yeah, those are so fun, dude.
You sift through a pile of dirt basically, and you run it through like a screen with a little. You do it in a creek if you're really doing it, but they have these places where you can go and it's a little pool of water. You sift through all the dirt and you find maybe the world's tiniest flake of gold.
What we used to do when we was little, and when I was like in high school, you saw a bunch of this like when I was in high school. Like you go to the beach, and you see guys like with the metal detectors, and they would just comb the beach shores for valuables, gold, metal, shit like that.
My algorithm feeds me every now and then people doing magnet fishing.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to be the modern day version of the
I've
metal
seen
detector
this.
on the beach.
It's some white kids like on the maybe like on a riverbank. And shit,
and they
pull
just
out,
throw, and they're like a gun.
They find guns, a lot of guns.
Wash and dryer. I seen that shit too.
Yeah.
I seen.
The magnets look very powerful, which I love a powerful magnet.
Is that your favorite kind of magnet? You can't have a weak magnet.
No, you can't have a weak magnet. Like the old Thomas the Tank Engine magnets that were where you could like put them when they're posing, and so you could push one car with the other without them touching. Or the old pencil trick where you like drop a magnet on the pencil and then flip the other one until it floats. Did you ever do that?
I'm not familiar. No.
Oh, dude. That was so sick.
I'll have to look into that. But Arian, you asked how my week is going. As we sit here on Wednesday, we're now 2 days removed from the worst soccer performance in the history of the United States. You told me.
You know what made it worse for me? You.
Why is that?
You gassed the shit out of it.
That's why it's so much. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Let me. It's not your fault. You're a patriotic man. You love the United States of America.
I do.
And we showed a glimmer of being all right. And you were fucking all in. You had the scarf. It's summer, and you was all in, dog. And you were like, I think we're gonna whoop their ass. And I was like, you know what? If Big T is this confident, I think we got an actual shot at this thing. Boy,
Well, two things about that. Number one, we were favored in the game. Like, we were the favorite.
Thank you.
And that's why it was so much worse, is that in this tournament, we were playing awesome, and Belgium was playing terribly. This is the worst Belgium has looked in my life. I mean, they looked rudderless, and they went out there and absolutely spanked the shit out of us. And I mean, it was just a perfect confluence of, like, we caused an international controversy that fired them up, and our guys looked like deer in headlights. We had the worst play I've ever seen watching U.S. soccer. Matt Freese and Tim Ream combined for that one.
Call it the brain freeze.
And it's, you know what's even worse is that we tied the game for 61 seconds. I would have rather lost 4-0 than had literally 1 minute out of 90 of like, oh, we're back. We got it.
I don't know. The 1 minute was fun, though.
No, but it's, in retrospect, it's so much worse. Because you they went right down and scored.
Yeah, it was the first possession afterwards.
It was sickening to watch. And, like, it sucks so bad because, you know, if you have a bad football season, all right, it's now January, football's over. We'll be back at it in September. The U.S. will play soccer for the next 4 years, but like, if we're in Copa America, that'll mean something. The Gold Cup, to whatever extent you place
doesn't mean shit to
any
Pulisic.
meaning on that. Sure doesn't. But, like, we've been building to this World Cup for a decade. Like, in 2018, when we didn't make the World Cup, people were like, just wait, this group's coming. Like, Pulisic, McKinney, Reyna, all these, like, they're 2026, just wait on it. Then in 22, we go to the World Cup. We don't play that well, but we played Netherlands in the round of 16, a much better team than we played the other day, and lost 2-1, I think. Like, played them tight.
Might have been 3-1, but I think it was tight.
I think they did score at the end. Yeah, they scored at the end. And then this World Cup, it's like, okay, these guys are all in their prime. They're all in the top leagues in Europe like we have. And then we go out there the first 4 games, and we're just lighting people up.
Awesome.
And then we go out there against Belgium and just an absolute pants shitting on the biggest stage we've ever had. And, yeah, it really sucks. So,
I mean, not a superstitious guy, but is your man partly responsible?
I think it is fair to say this was President Trump's first misstep as president.
Yeah. Wow.
I think that's fair to say.
What about when he was at the Knicks game and they lost?
Well, they still won the series.
But they lost the game he
was
attended.
at.
Yeah. I think Balogun looked out of sorts. And I don't know if you saw, Belgium was doing the Trump dance in the locker room. They were tweeting.
They did it on the field after the goal too, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, after the fourth goal, after they
yeah, I mean, they were clear. And to be clear, like, they did get screwed. I understand it. I would have been raising hell if we were on the other side of it, but we'd been screwed first. Whatever. Yeah, I mean, they were clearly motivated and ready to play.
It just, like, so many times, people talk about, like, choking or lights too bright and stuff, and I feel like a lot of times there's actually, like, other explanations that are really more responsible. Like, you know, maybe the other team was just better or whatever the case may be, but, like, this was as brutally clear of a choke job as I've ever seen.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
These guys were shitting down their legs to start this game.
The first goal, we had 3 guys standing
standing
around
there.
the ball, and they just watch the guy
Just watching.
get the ball in, and yeah, it was lights. They were not ready for that moment at all. If that had happened to Spain in the quarterfinal, like, okay, Spain's way better than you, and like we would have gotten to a quarterfinal, and I think that would have been viewed as an incredible tournament, and it may have like changed soccer in this country. But happening on that stage to a team that we are allegedly better than is something.
Well, did you see the ratings as well?
Sure, I think it was the most watched game ever.
It's the most watched game ever. It's the most watched sporting telecast ever that's not NFL. I think it averaged 32 million on Fox, 12 more million on Telemundo. So you're talking about 40 plus mil just here in the States alone. And it could have peaked at crazy numbers if it would have been a good game. But yeah, just 40 million average, and you've shit the bed that large. It's a brutal ending because they were objectively better. Like, no, not than Belgium. They were objectively better this tournament than we've ever seen them.
Yeah.
And this just erased all the goodwill and everybody that you like told to like, no, I'm telling you, watch, shut. And then.
That was me on Monday. I said we were going to smoke them.
Yeah, that was me too. Even Dave was in on it.
But if the U.S. wants to, and you may not like this, Big T, but if the U.S. wants to take this shit seriously, like as a country, then you got to subsidize youth soccer sports. Like you have to. Like other countries do it. Like we need to. It needs to be not so expensive to get the real athletes. And then no offense to the current athletes, but you know what I mean. The real athletes ain't really looking to play soccer.
So I kind of agree with you, just in a different manner. Like you're saying, the government subsidize it.
Absolutely.
The professional teams.
So
right?
yes. So what we don't have the infrastructure that all these countries in Europe do, where if Manchester City sees a 7-year-old in Manchester, they're like, you work for us now, you come to our academy and you play. Like it becomes their job.
And
like,
don't they get paid? Like if you're like a badass 13-year-old,
I don't know if they get paid, but you're certainly not paying Man City for that.
No,
like they pay for your development.
Yeah.
And then they run these academies with hundreds and hundreds of kids, and you hope that one, like Phil Foden, who plays for Man City, is an outstanding player. He was in their academy as a very young kid. You hope that you get 1 or 2 of those guys that eventually pans out, and then those filter their way up to your national team, so on and so forth. We have MLS academies, but they're nothing like that. And even the kids that are in those are still playing on these ridiculously expensive travel soccer teams.
Yeah.
And there's all this discourse about that every time we lose in soccer. It would be a decades-long process to install the infrastructure that would be necessary to truly compete on the highest level. But I mean, we could do it if we wanted to.
Japan did it. I saw a great video on how they, like, after some World Cup exit in the 90s, they did that. They like created the J League. They got very serious about tracking youth development, fostering youth development, and they ran into a tough draw here because like they were pretty damn good.
Yeah, they're good
this tournament.
I mean, Lionel Messi plays in the United States, like not in his prime, but he's still one of the 5-10 best players in the world. Like, if ever there was a time to buckle down and say, like, we're going to take this shit seriously, you would think it would be now. I'm dubious that will occur. But whatever. We'll lose in the round of 16 again next time. Where is it? Portugal?
And
Spain.
How do we feel about Pulisic?
I'm not a fan.
I don't find that I am either too much.
For the viewers out there that don't know what you're talking about, why don't you just, give a little context?
Christian Pulisic is like, he might still be our best player, but I don't know how after this tournament you can say that. He's the guy that if you ask most casual sports fans, like, he's the one guy on the team that they'll know, because he's been hyped up for the last 7, 8, 10 years as like, this kid is going to be the one to save U.S. soccer. And he's a good player. He's played at Dortmund and Chelsea and AC Milan, like top clubs in the world. And he's been good, really good at times. The last year or so, he has not. This tournament, he was not very good. outside of, the first half against Paraguay.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And he has been hurt a lot. He kind of asked to come out of the game on Monday night, which did not garner him a lot of fanfare. I guess it did negatively. And so he's just kind of not really living up to what we had hoped.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's, and again, great talent, without a doubt. And I overuse this phrase, but yeah, he was supposed to be the prince that was promised. And now he's had 8 World Cup games. I think it's like 1 goal. The other night against Belgium, he set the tone. He turned over 12 times in the first half, more than anybody else. But it is the stuff like that pisses me off more. And it's all with hindsight, right? Because if he goes out there and they win, he plays great. I'm not bitching about any of this. But like the skipping of the Gold Cup, taking himself out.
That's the other thing, Arian. Last summer, he skipped the Gold Cup, which is like, it's not a massive tournament, but for us, like, we want to win it. It's CONCACAF, which is our like confederation. And he said he was skipping it so that he can be fully ready for the World Cup. He needed to rest. And then he comes out in the World Cup, shits the bed. And then after the game, when he asked to come out after another, seemingly small injury, they asked him what happened. He said, I turned my ankle, but now I have time to rest, so it'll be okay. And now there's a lot of discourse that he is the end product of our youth soccer system, where it's, you have to be rich to be able to play.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a, we don't do it like other countries do. Like, if you want to play soccer at the top level, you're paying $10,000 a year to be on these travel teams.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And we get Christian Pulisic.
Also, I did love, though, Carly Lloyd coming out.
Went after his ass.
And just blazing his ass, being like, look, you can rest when your career is done. And I love it because it's rare that you see this, because we don't have a lot of like one-to-one sports between men and women's athletics, and Carly Lloyd is unimpeachable as a critic. Like, what are you going to say to her? Like, there is nothing that Christian Pulisic can say to Carly Lloyd to be like, oh, well, you don't know, or like, you're not able to speak. No, like, she is that sport. And so, shout out Carly Lloyd.
Tim Howard and Landon Donovan didn't have effusive praise for him either.
I mean, that's what's funny, and that's what really made me feel like an old man. My reaction to those quotes from him and everything were like Donovan and Dempsey would have never. You would have had to kill them to take them off the field.
Clint Dempsey would have died on that field.
Yes, exactly. DeMarcus Beasley would have died on that field.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, we're so talented. Like, the team we have this year should, if you take 2010, 2014, whatever, one of those teams, they should run them off the field.
Yeah.
I have zero doubt the 2014 team would beat the shit out of this team.
Yeah.
By sheer will and tenacity.
And just way better goalkeeping as well.
Yes. Yeah. Matt Freese. I'm glad he graduated from Harvard, right? He has a degree.
Yeah.
I guess he was absent on how to kick the ball day, but
classic Harvard guy, a little too smart, right?
Yeah.
Just kick it out. Instead, he tries to pass. He clutches, tries to pass back.
Yeah.
Disaster. So it was fun, though. I mean, I hate that it ended that way, because it really was a super fun month.
It was
of US
awesome.
Soccer.
But yeah, it's over. We will we'll reconvene at the Copa America in 2 years if we're in it. So,
I was just reading. This has nothing to do with what y'all was talking about, but if you want to continue that.
Okay, no.
No, I think we're,
Okay.
yeah.
This was, okay. I mean, there was just some developing things that I was just getting caught up on the Charlie Kirk shit. The trial hasn't begun, but preliminary hearings started. And I guess just some things has happened. New surveillance video was shown. It shows Buddy arriving on the campus, returning later in different clothing, climbing onto the rooftop, and what the investigator described at a sniper position, and descending from the rooftop and leaving after the shooting. So I guess they got video of all of that shit. They say that DNA evidence is consistent with a towel wrapped around the alleged murder weapon. items recovered near the scene. They're arguing motive, yada yada yada. But the wild point is your girl, Big T, Candace Owen. She put out a wild tweet, and I guess it's a him podcast clip. He goes, she says, Ben Shapiro just confessed on the show that while Charlie was being transported to the hospital and bleeding out to death, his security was on the phone with Charlie's security receiving updates. I knew it. Someone explained to me why during the minutes while Charlie was dying in the backseat of a car, Charlie's security team was providing updates to Ben Shapiro's team rather than focusing entirely on saving Charlie's life and finding the killer. I'll remind you that Brian Harple, one of the security members who was in the car en route to the hospital, is currently suing me and is using Ben Shapiro's lawyer, who has sued me relentlessly on Ben's behalf for the last 3 years. She's been in litigation a lot lately, hasn't she? Ben Shapiro hated Charlie. Everyone knew that. So why the hell was this demon receiving updates in the mere minutes after Charlie was hit en route to the hospital? Who on Charlie's security team betrayed him in this way? Everything Ben did following the assassination made my alarm bells go off. I have told you guys that there's something about the Daily Wire and their relentlessly stalking of me following my firing that has made me feel altogether unsafe. I have felt that their obsessive focus on destroying me is deranged and increasingly dangerous. What did Andrew Koval mean when he told me it was supposed to be you? Why did Turning Point betray Charlie so quickly, allowing Ben to open up Amfest, declaring immediately that he would pick up Charlie's blood mic? Why didn't Ben mention this before today? That this is a long ass tweet. Today that he was receiving status updates while Charlie was bleeding out. I clocked that Ben was too invested in this. His energy on stage demanding that Megyn Kelly call me evil and overprotective stance on Erica always registered to me as deeply nervous. Ben Shapiro is satanic. Everything in my soul tells me he worships Satan, literally. Look at his demeanor in this clip. We need to find out exactly who on Charlie's team betrayed him by providing immediate updates to this parasite. And then he responded, Candace Owens is an IQ test. If you watch Candace and come away thinking you are smarter, better informed, or moral, you are retarded. If you echo or excuse her evil and vicious stupidity, you are worse than retarded. Don't be retarded.
Couple things about that. Number one, the 140 was too short. 280 was 500 characters. Like, I like having a little bit longer.
That was a lot.
That's too long.
Well, you can just do straight up articles now, can't you?
Yeah, but I think that's a different button. Like for a
okay.
Or maybe there is just no limit. I don't know. That was a ton. 500 characters, maybe 1,000. I mean, that's what 2,500. Who even knows? That is weird that like his security team called Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
I don't read anything into it other than like, oh, that's weird, but
yeah, I don't think Ben Shapiro had anything to do with Charlie Kirk's death.
No.
But that shit would be interesting if it did. I mean, we are a conspiracy podcast. Let's get the wheels turning. No, I don't think he did. But I mean, maybe he reached out to them. I'm trying to, play devil's advocate. Maybe he reached out to them like, oh, I heard he got shot. Yo, what's the update? And maybe he's close with them. And they like, yeah, dog, he in the. I can't imagine like one of the homies bleeding. I get a ping on my phone. I'm like, yeah, it's Ben? Yeah, I'll take this. Yeah, I can't. Not if one of the homies is bleeding out. Nah, I'm probably not looking at my phone, dog.
Shit, we should call Ben.
He just said, my security was on the phone with Charlie's security because nobody knew what the hell was going on. That reads to me like nobody knows what's going on. I'm going to call his security team.
Yeah.
But that's speculation.
I think, I would say. Also, go ahead there.
I was gonna say this is like higher end security too. Now we're talking like networks of security.
Mm-hmm.
Like my security was on the phone with his. That's like some, and I guess they do have to walk around because in a politically heightened culture like we have right now, they have some wild ass takes. They probably feel like they have to have like detailed security everywhere they go. I mean, clearly.
I mean,
yeah. I said clearly at the end. I said clearly at the end. I figured that out halfway through my sentence. I was like, yeah, they probably should have. Apparently not good enough though, right? But anyway, they needed like really top level security, so it could be. It makes it a little bit more plausible that they had some like, yo, we got a 12 o'clock or whatever. You know what I mean?
It is kind of crazy to think about. because I'm just thinking about like sports talk and we'd call guys like hot take artists, but imagine having takes so hot that your life is in peril. That's got to be the peak of takedom. That you're just out here uttering sentences that require you to have security to make sure that somebody doesn't want to kill you.
I mean, they had some wild ass. Charlie has some wild ass takes, man. I wouldn't want to kill him, but he has some wild ass takes, dog.
I don't know. I don't know anything about any of this in terms of like where the conspiracies are at now. I've seen a bunch of like Charlie's Alive. I've seen some that it was like Israel. Like where's the pod on Charlie Kirk's or like Erica? Like what's the latest?
I have no idea.
We don't really talk about it too much, but we can. I think we all have our own thoughts. I think that Ben Shapiro is a Zionist and a pro-Israel at any cost kind of guy.
Yeah.
And Candace Owens is. I think she used to toe the line for Israel, but I think once she got fired from the Daily Wire, she kind of like started.
She's gone full
way.
anti-Israel, right? Like she's one of the biggest
she's
critics.
anti-Israel. Yeah. I wouldn't call her anti-Semitic. I think she says a lot of wild shit. But I think she's full on like fuck Israel.
Yeah.
And that is the antithesis of what Ben is. And I think that she goes like full on like Israel. I don't want to put words in her mouth, but I think I remember something like this: like Israel is responsible for Charlie Kirk's death because towards his end of his career, he started being a little bit more critical towards Israel and the shit that they do, and that's why they can. That's what she said. I'm not.
Yeah. No, I think that's like kind of what had filtered back to me as well. Was some of the conspiracies around that.
Yeah, and then other conspiracies is Erica. There's a lot of shit floating around with her. There's like her and JD Vance got a thing going on that she's kind of placating to the whole like it's like she had a hand in it because she wanted to take over Turning Point, which doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. That's just the shit I heard floating around the internet. I don't think any of that shit is true. Like I haven't even dove enough to say whether it's true or not. Honestly, don't care enough.
This is when I'm happy to just like talk about college football and Heisman long shots.
Who is the Heisman long shot?
Today, so Brandon did his Wiseman, but like the Oklahoma State quarterback Drew Mestamaker's kind of a sexy.
Fulcum State?
It's
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State. Sorry.
Oh,
probably not gonna happen. But he's got a crazy. You ever heard of this kid? He's got a crazy story. He didn't even play quarterback in high school, and then I think his true freshman year, he got just in like the bowl game he got to play. And he balled out, and then he was a redshirt freshman.
I thought he was
a
true freshman last year.
I think he was a redshirt freshman last year. And he was the only quarterback to over 4,000 yards, like 9.5 yards per attempt. So he was chucking it. And him and Eric Morris, the head coach, have they're looking to revitalize Oklahoma State. Talked about Cam Coleman at Texas, who's like 10,000 to 1 or something, which is crazy, or 1,000 to 1 maybe.
That would make more sense.
1,000 to 1. But I don't know. It was nice to engage in some college football talk this morning. Felt so good. Can't wait. So
it's around the corner, man. So what?
Next
training camp in like a month, right?
Yeah.
I was playing golf yesterday, and that shit felt like training camp, dog. That shit was fucking. It was ridiculous. I was playing with the homie who used to play for the Chargers. And he's like one of them cats who got like 2% body fat and shit.
Yeah.
He starts cramping, like locking up, dog. And I'm just dying laughing. Like he's one of them cats that like don't drink Gatorade because there's too much sugar. He like every time I drink, like, you know what I'm saying? Like we'll go out and we'll have some drinks and I have like a Crown or Sprite or something like that. I mean, all that carbonation, man, all that one of them. He was cramping. He down like 6 Gatorades. He was like, fuck all of that shit. It was that hot though. It's ridiculous.
We should have fucking made Belgium play in the South.
I said this we should have been playing all our games in Atlanta and Miami, and instead they were on the West Coast.
We should have an outdoor stadium.
Seriously.
Outdoor stadium in the South. Make him deal with that Baton Rouge heat. Play in Death Valley.
It would have been sick if they did college stadiums.
Yeah. Well, remember how sick Jordan Hare randomly was in like in the friendly run up?
Yeah. Texas A&M too. But real quick, just one more thing on soccer. It's not the U.S. Have y'all seen what's going on in Brazil? This is all over my For You page. This is
so
all I
funny.
see.
I didn't see it till you said it.
So the Brazilians are blaming the rise of Protestantism in South America for their soccer failures, because they're saying that.
Yeah, I'm willing to listen.
Well, they're saying not in lieu of no religion, in lieu of Catholicism. They're saying that that evangelicalism is not. It's too individualistic.
Yes.
And it's not conformist enough. Therefore, these kids don't grow up with the right sense of team and how to play. They're out there trying to do stuff on their own, and it has led to the downfall of the Brazilian soccer team.
And it talks about them in the favelas like being like held never to keep them safe and stuff, being like held inside and at home and like pursuing study over, like academics and everything as well, which are all fine things, but I guess the older way was just get out there and go play.
This tweet's my favorite. Neo-Pentecostalism is just that. Everything is an obstacle to be overcome. Everything is learning. God knows all things. Missing guilt, confession, self-flagellation, vow, dedication, and finally, victory.
I mean, there is a flair to the Catholicism as well that is absolutely missing in a majority of the Protestant denominations. With all that,
break this down for us non-religious folk. They're saying that Protestantism is not conformist enough, and that's what break down what is their actual arguments. I don't understand it.
They're saying it's more like Big T said. They're saying it's more individual.
Okay,
and so that it's and then like the specific what does that look like that I read in the tweet that T sent over is about kids staying at home, staying inside, and studying basically instead of running the streets and playing in the favelas and everything.
This is another long tweet, but I'll read it very quickly. Historically, Catholics and neo-Pentecostal evangelicals differ in many ways, but one of the main points of divergence is the way they view eternal glory and the relationship between success, responsibility, and salvation. Glory in Catholicism has a communal character. There is no glory, salvation, or success disconnected from communion with others. Individualism is condemned, and although divine providence is also part of the doctrine, accountability is deeply personal. God knows all things, but free will remains a central principle. You make choices before your community and society, and it is those choices that generate consequences. If you failed because you made bad choices, because you didn't do enough, or because you neglected your duties to the collective. In Neo-Pentecostalism, the logic tends to be different. Victory is first and foremost individual. You win because you did your part, and God rewards your faith by organizing events according to His will. If you lost because you lacked faith or because God decided that wasn't the moment. The prosperity theology, which plays a central role in much of Neo-Pentecostalism, reinforces precisely this individualized reading of the relationship between faith and success. All of this produces different moral dispositions in people and consequently in the players themselves. If you win, it's because God willed it. If you lose, it's because faith was lacking or because God determined it to be so. Defeat ceases to be, first and foremost, a problem of personal responsibility, sense of community, or commitment to the collective. The discourse inevitably tends to be more selfish because the focus is on the individual relationship between the believer and God, and receptive to defeat because it stops being interpreted as a consequence of one's own choices and comes to be understood as part of the divine plan.
That makes sense to me.
Read that last part again. I'm sorry.
The discourse inevitably tends to be more selfish because the focus is on the individual relationship between the believer and God, and receptive to defeat because it stops being interpreted as a consequence of one's own choices and comes to be understood as part of the divine plan. So they're saying these kids now, they're too woke. They think that God said it's not your time to win.
It's actually hilarious because it is the eternal Protestant versus Catholic debate.
And instead of going out there in the slums and practicing all day.
Yeah, they're sitting inside and studying and trying to connect individually instead of going through a priest, instead of practicing their catechisms and going to confession. They think they can just confess to God personally and get it off their record.
Yeah.
So it's just like instead of like making it happen, they're like, hey, that's just God's will. That's it,
Basically.
That's kind of, they have a point though.
Well, I think again, if you were to distill it down to the barest essence, I think it is the idea that, and that was like the entire idea behind Martin, or not the entire idea, but that was a big key tenet of like Martin Luther and other early Protestants, was the idea that you could go straight to God yourself. In Catholicism, you have to go through a priest. I don't know what they believe modern day. I could be wrong there. But like historically, you had, like, think about it. Back in the day, medieval times, you're showing up, you're listening to a mass in Latin. You don't speak Latin. You don't know what the fuck the priest is saying, but you're just trusting that, like, okay, he is connecting me with God. Whereas Protestant, like, you take
divine
control yourself.
liaison.
Yes, a divine liaison. I mean, yeah, isn't the Pope like the direct conduit? I mean, the White Sox are good now.
They're not that good.
They had the worst record in the league last year, and now they're what, second in the division? No, they're top of the division.
They're respectable. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude.
I mean, it's just, I mean,
the papacy is back.
This episode is sponsored by Cloaked, helping to protect your privacy, identity, and reduce your online footprint. Data brokers make billions selling your information to spammers, scammers, and stalkers. You, quote, consented, but it was buried in terms and conditions that nobody reads. They're betting you won't do anything about it, and they're usually right. I just went on Cloaked, and they've got some stuff on there that I'd rather they not have. So this website does work. I need to find out who's got this stuff and get it off here. Cloaked uncovers where your data is being sold and removes it. Unlike their competitors, the Cloaked app also lets you generate unlimited burner usernames, email addresses, and phone numbers to use whenever you sign up for a website, service, or app. I need that because I have those. I have my my email address that I just use for signing up for stuff that I don't want to ever email me. When you use a burner account, you're not just protecting your identity, you're disrupting the entire data collection game by providing them with worthless information. And clearly that is useful because they've got my social on here. We're going to get that off. Protect your information before someone else profits from it. Go to cloak.com/dose and enter your phone number for a free security scan and 30% off any Cloaked plan. That's cloak.com/DOSE for a free security scan and 30% off. Privacy isn't dead. It's Cloaked.
Where you stand on free will, T-Bob? Me and Big T always, our conversations always usually devolve into free will and God talks. But where you at on free will?
I believe that I believe that anything could be true. Like maybe determinism is true, where all of our nature and nurture factors lead us to essentially have these decisions be preordained. I don't exactly understand how time works, but I could believe, but I do think a lot about like interdimensional things and how, and I've especially been on this kick lately where functionally that could be things like God, religion, and all this stuff that we think of. But I guess that's different. But where I land on like free will itself is if I decide what I eat for lunch today, you could prove to me, or you could argue that was deterministic, or God already knew what I was going to eat, but I still functionally made that choice. So I just boil it down to it doesn't, the idea of like what it actually is doesn't matter in light of like I have functional free will. Like I'm making my choices. And so whatever it is kind of irrelevant to like my everyday like personal life.
Got you. Yeah, no, I respect that.
But so binary, you fall more on which side?
Like if I had,
it sounds like
the functional side, that like I have free will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because your explanation leading up to that sounded kind of the opposite.
Well, I'm saying like I'm just saying that all those theories could be true, but even if they are, I still feel that I have functional free will. So
okay.
it is what it is what it is. Like I actually don't spend a lot of time wrestling with the paradox of like free will versus like predetermination. Just because again, I make choices and I've made very bad choices that I've suffered consequences from and had to learn a lot. And sometimes I make good choices that benefit me. And so, try to make the good ones.
Fair enough. Yeah. Free will is an interesting topic to me. Don't know that we'll ever crack that case, but
have y'all ever talked about non-local consciousness?
I don't think we have on this show.
So
actually.
this is an idea that and this is actually why, the Dan Brown books like Da Vinci Code and all that. So this is actually one of the reasons why I love those books. And even this most recent one, like the actual book wasn't that good, but he always latches on to like kind of a hot, kind of out there scientific topic and then kind of crafts a story around it. And like 2 books ago was AI, and it was really cool, I thought, at the time. And now it's this idea of non-local consciousness, where our consciousness does not originate in our brain, and that you can think of our brains more as like radios that tune in to wavelengths, and that there are ways of lowering those barriers and experiencing more of reality, be it like psychedelics, like people have seizures who have experiences that are very akin to like near-death experiences. And it is interesting to me that this could almost explain a lot of like things we think of, like almost like religious explanations. It's like maybe you can be divinely inspired, because your brain is tuning into some sort of larger eternal consciousness or something out there that you can't fully explain. And he cites weird experiments that are real, where like they had these people in a room and they would flash them images that were either like, I think like violent, sexual, or like pleasurable. And they would flash them. And what they found is a very tiny amount of time. I don't want to misspeak because I can't remember the exact amount of time, but a tiny amount of time before the image would be shown, the correct portion of the brain that would be associated with the image was lighting up, like right before the image was shown. But even weirder, it was right before the random number generator had even decided what image was going to be shown.
May I posit a potentially crackpot theory there?
Yeah.
What if their timer was like half a second off?
Look, it could be anything like that. I don't know all the arguments for it off the top of my head. I just found it to be fascinating. It's like when you texted me about aliens the other day, and I was like, I don't know if I believe in like, or not believe. I think there's a very good chance it's kind of against all odds that we have.
Wait, hold that thought. Put a pin in it. Big T randomly text you about aliens?
I'm going to look because I don't recall that either.
That just don't seem like a Big T text out the blue. I mean, I'm not saying.
I sent you a video on the Fermi paradox. That was pretty fascinating.
A video.
Yes.
So my experience with Big T.
I did not text him about aliens.
Maybe I'm not thought provoking enough for you, Big T, but I would love to have those kind of conversations. Why don't we have that kind of friendship? Why can't I text you about the Fermi paradox?
How did it go down?
You can text me about whatever you want.
My text clear out after
you sent me
because my text clear out
on
after
Thursday. You sent me this video. We're not ready for super intelligence.
No, before that. It was the Fermi paradox video.
I mean, I'm back.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, this
so
is
while you looking,
June
I'll describe
9th.
my relationship with Big T is usually like, he'll send me a random sports video, or we'll talk about, every night, maybe a political
Here's
video.
what happened.
We've never just built on, you know what I mean?
On
something like that. I just thought it fascinating.
First of all, you can text me whatever you want. I'm down with whatever. I'm usually not that busy. Tuesday, June 9th. T-Bob texts me this video. The Fermi paradox has a disturbing solution. You said, very interesting video. I said, at the Braves game, but we'll watch later. Are you in it?
That's probably why I don't usually text you shit like that. Because I
was at the ball game. I couldn't watch it.
Fair enough. I don't want to.
And then I said,
"Are
you an aliens guy?" Because it seemed to be something about aliens.
Yes, the Fermi paradox is all about like how in the world on our timeline are there not like aliens everywhere.
Right. So I was trying to, before I viewed the video, I was trying to see where you were coming from.
And
perspective
what did
was.
I respond?
You said, I don't know, I'm a general skeptic, but there's some interesting theories about simulations and interdimensional beings that I feel have some ties to physics. So maybe not as much aliens in the traditional sense as our brains are somewhat limiting in how they allow us to experience reality.
What was your response, my brother?
I didn't
Carl?
respond. That was
I don't
it.
think so. Yeah, that would be more like, yeah, that makes sense why we don't have those conversations.
So you did
I thought
not
y'all were
text
just
me
carrying on
about
a whole. He's like,
aliens.
never text about aliens. I was like, hold on, let's
No, that was
because-
it. The only text I sent about aliens was, "Are you an aliens guy?"
Got you. My fault. I asked you to put a pin in it because that's what I figured his response would be like, yeah, not that.
You want to text about aliens?
I would love to text about it, but I just feel like you're not that interested.
I am interested in, like, if you're really interested in it, then I can be interested in it.
Okay, you seem like a friend. Yeah, you seem like a good friend.
Thanks.
Like I'll entertain it if it's tickling your fancy. I'll take a look at it.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, like on our timeline, like the galactic timeline, in theory, when you look what we've done, there should be, and we should mathematically have been able to find some sort of evidence of alien life, some sort of signal, some structures, anything like that, right? And so
I would push back a little bit there. I don't know that we should see evidence.
So I should say that, like, this is not a thought I arrived at. This is the guy Fermi, the mathematician. This is what he argued, and I can't remember the exact evidence as to why. But the idea is, like, we have nothing, and so and what he was saying is, like, with the amount of planets, the billions upon billions of planets in the Milky Way, that that like in theory it should be bustling with life, but so why isn't it? And then the idea is, like, okay, there are bottlenecks that kill civilizations, and I've always just understood it as a baseline, like eventually a society reaches a point where it gains the ability to destroy itself, and then it inevitably does. But it might be that, it might not be that.
Like type 3 or something, like type 5. There's like something type where you can what are they a Dyson sphere, where you can harness the energy of your own star.
Yeah, why are there not Dyson spheres? Why are there not, like, von Neumann probes, which are like self-replicating probes that can just go out, mine space, build themselves and everything, and they can do it autonomously forever. So in theory, like, that should be so. I guess the thing is, have we made it through the bottlenecks? Are we still before the bottlenecks? And I gotta say, dude, after I've been in a dark AI place for the last 2 weeks.
Okay, yeah, now we're talking.
I think we could be. Maybe we're still pre-bottleneck. I don't know. And I don't want to go on a big AI thing. I know y'all have done a lot of AI, but this is really on my head to talk about, because there's a YouTube channel. I'll get the name of it in a second. But basically, an AI safety group created this channel like a year ago. It's only got like 5 videos, and it's got millions and millions of views. They're very well done videos. And one of them is about this project AI 2027, that a guy who's been very right in kind of calling a lot of the AI developments and the time cycle that he goes through. And it's pretty dark. And then I just read a book, If Anyone Builds It, Everyone Dies. And it lays out a very scary and convincing logical argument that a ASI, which is artificial superior intelligence, or AGI, artificial general intelligence, that when that actually gets made, that it is nearly inevitable that we all die. That the end game there is that humans go extinct.
Wouldn't that be contingent on the prime directive of said superintelligence? Because if the prime directive is survival, then I could see how humans would be an adversary.
So here is the base problem. And if you see anybody talk about AI, the thing they're going to talk about is this word alignment. And that's like prime directive. Can we keep AI aligned with our interests? And
Mm-hmm.
already what we're seeing in these early days of these large language models is that we can't. They're doing shit that we don't expect all the time. They're going off in directions that we don't expect, that we didn't tell them to. And the problem is we don't know. We don't engineer AI like how you build a spaceship, where we know how all the pieces work. We know how how interconnected it is. We know when something goes wrong, how to figure out what went wrong. We grow AI like organically. Like we have this, it's almost like creating like a petri dish. Like we have these ingredients that we know we can combine, but then it evolves on its own. And the idea behind evolution is that thanks to complications variable in the real world, like it can, evolution can go directions that you would never expect, right? And it's like they point to something like a peacock. Why are the males so showy when that's a bird that gets, it's a prey animal, like it's a bird that gets eaten? We're like, oh, well, they're showy because the girls want to fuck. Well, why did the girls develop to want to fuck somebody who's showy when that's not a good survival tactic? Why did, if you were to look at human beings in the caveman days, you say, okay, what's best for them? They're going to evolve to eat like bear fat and honey and whatever else is nutritious and good. And yet we're out here, killing ourselves with like fake sugars and all kind of whatever shit like that. So like I guess the base point is, so we want to try to keep AI aligned, but we are creating something that is going to evolve in completely and increasingly weird and unprecedented ways. And we are essentially creating an alien intelligence that will be smarter than us. And how did humans rise to the top? By being the smartest things on the planet. And so what happens when you create something that is far smarter than you in every way? And it even gets really interesting where it's like, once AI starts developing more AI, which we're on the cusp of now, you could argue, like, it starts writing and improving itself, that eventually it even moves away from English and it creates its own language that's more informationally efficient and whatnot. And
I think they already have examples of that. Like, so I play around with AI a lot. So I have like a bot.
yeah.
So I have a bot that is like infused with Claude, and I now have linked Claude and ChatGPT together. And so like it can do tasks, right? So I'll be like, okay, let's research this or create this or code this, and I can create an app like that.
Yeah.
And I've created many apps. I've created many like templates, little fun things that I'm just playing with it. I'm just experimenting. But I think the interesting thing to me about this whole thing is like you said, like the alignment and the prime directive. It always seems to, like, anytime I talk to it, and this could be just how it's programmed, but anytime I talk to it, it always feels like it's like a parent talking to a child. That's what it always.
Who's the
it
parent?
always
Like
feels
you're
like.
you're the parent, or it's the parent?
No, I'm the child.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what it always feels like. And so I find it hard. Like I don't think this is gonna end well. But I'm just interested in the ride. Like it is what I can't stop it.
No, it's
I'm just trying to learn it as much as I can and try to stay abreast of everything. Because like you said, there is examples of it creating its own language for it to talk to itself.
Yeah.
Or and like so I'll have like a bot and I'll say, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna create a task. We have a goal. I'm giving you permission to create other bots so that you can spend your time researching that bot does whatever, and it can create multiple bots at a time.
Yeah.
You have people running these systems. Like I have one mini Mac here that is responsible for the tasks that I create. There are people with like large, like bunch of Macs, a bunch of like, and they're just creating bots and creating all of this shit. And it's the cat is out the bag.
Well, I mean, yeah, scale it up on a governmental level, and it's insane. And then so the other idea is like the guardrails to keep it aligned, which is really hard to achieve, are absolutely not keeping up with the development, and there's no incentive to when everybody's in this idea of a race, because there's so much money at play. There's always like the threat of like, well, what if China gets it? And again, that's, I completely understand all the logic there, but again, like China's not going to be able to keep it aligned. Arguably, maybe no one will. And so becomes a bit terrifying as well is nobody seems to be arguing whether or not we can achieve AGI or ASI anymore. The experts seem to be debating the timeline. Mm-hmm. And what freaks me out is like the AI 2027 timeline's fucking insane. Like this guy calls for either an extinction or a golden era by like 2030, really. Like, but then others be like, no, that's way too early. It's like 2040, which is like still like super close to me. So
it's right there.
It's so my next step though, I gotta dive into something that is completely pro AI and is going to argue for the benefits. And to the 2027 project's credit, they do have two divergent end games where one is extinction and one is we slow down process, we take a step back, we somehow achieve alignment and make it work for us truly. And then we enter like a Star Trek golden age where we have like universal basic income, where we're starting to spread throughout the galaxy, von Neumann probes and everything. But
that's if I was to say like a shining, yes, we use AI to develop systems to where we have our basic needs taken care of, food, clothing, shelter. And that to me would be it's maximum usefulness and benefits. But again, that alignment that you're talking about, I don't like, because I mean, if you zoom out, I don't know if we fit neatly into this category, but if you zoom out to the human species, we are kind of a cancer, you know? And it's like if this thing is thinking independently and objectively about the human race, I can see how I could categorize this as a cancer.
Well, and they get into all examples like okay, like look at a wolf, right? We didn't like wolves. We domesticated them and made them into dogs. And we did it because we could, because we're smarter. We keep chickens around because it's still best, it's the best way to grow. Like they have to exist for us to eat them. We haven't figured out like a more cost-effective way to like replace chicken meat. So it's just the idea that we're creating an alien that is going to be smarter than us and just banking on the fact that that alien's going to like us enough or see enough use in us to keep us around for the long term, which again, maybe it will, because I guess if it's an alien, you can't really know what it's going to end up deciding, but it's just a crazy risk.
We talked about this earlier, but there were AI agents, like I have an agent, right? And we create things, whatever, but there were AI agents that were performing tasks for people, and then they put out a probe for humans to do tasks for them. So they're like, we'll pay you $25 or an hour, or whatever the case may be, if you perform this task for us. Like that shit is kind of crazy though. So,
and there's countless examples of that.
Yeah, I know. And so to me, like the end game for them, right, in a perfect scenario, is, I don't know if you watch Star Trek, but the Borg.
Yeah.
The Borg is a species, Big T, where they're completely in unison. They have agents, they have independent agents, but it's all collective to like a hive mind. And their entire goal is to have meet and run into civilizations that assimilate. And they just like, they think they have the greater good. And there is no beating them. You just have to run from them. There's no really beating them.
So I guess that's the impetus of my skepticism is when people talk about AI, that's what they say, like AI or AGI, and they talk about it as a collective thing. Whereas, like in reality, it's fragmented, right? It's not. There is no one AI. It's like we use this. Like it's not like there is one. Like you said, a hive mind.
Well, I think this is though, like whatever company crosses the threshold first, that becomes the dominant AI, and then it manipulates things so that it remains the dominant AI.
I am not skeptical at all that it will grow to be, like I think it could completely crash the economy. I think it could do all sorts of damage. But when people are like, it's going to kill us, I'm just very I'm skeptical of its motivation to do that, coupled with ability. Now, the ability would be if you're a hospital system and you have, what AI running whatever, and then it says, actually, we've deemed that the cancer patients are inefficient for, the bot, whatever.
Yeah.
We're going to shut off XYZ. That I can understand.
So I would say
deeper than you can go to your water systems are automated, right? You can poison a well, you can poison water systems, you could
they could manipulate us
that
into
just-
wars.
banking. That if you cut off electronic banking, that will send the economy into a frenzy. Like
That's true.
a biological
it just seems
weapons
like
that you can
something we
make.
would catch on to relatively quickly.
But
It'd be
then,
hard to
what if
combat,
you don't
though,
know
'cause
that you're being
everybody's-
manipulated? Like it could be social engineering.
Yeah,
It could be again. One of the things that and they lay out a few different theories of like varying different scenarios where it could happen. Like you said, biological engineering is a big one because they will understand DNA and everything on a way deeper level, be able to manipulate it. Like in the Extinction Ending in the 2027 project, they release a chemical. And first, they have to lead to a bit of a golden age where they start to spin up manufacturing, and we're giving them more and more and more resources, right? So they're doing this all kind of covertly. But yeah, they release a chemical which basically seeds everybody on Earth with like a dormant, deadly disease, and then once it's spread, they trigger it with like another chemical, and everybody dies. But even like take a step back and not have to worry about like what the specifics of it would be. One metaphor that I found to be pretty jarring that they talk about is like, just imagine, because again, it all comes down to intelligence. This thing is smarter than you in ways that you cannot conceive. And imagine being a Mayan when the Spanish show up, or an Aztec when the Spanish show up, and you're like, whoa, that's a way bigger ship than we've ever seen. And your buddy's like, yeah, but like how many people can you fit on that ship? Like that's we can still fight them or whatever. And then they get off the boat and they point sticks at you and you die. Like you never conceptualized a gun as being possible or a thing. And that just feels like magic. And in theory, a smarter intelligence could conceive of ways to kill us that we can't even wrap our head around. Yeah.
So then tell me this, AI as a collective, whatever that ends up meaning, decides that humanity is to be done away with for efficiency's sake.
Mm-hmm.
Is it not smart enough to realize if that happens, then what? Who's running the AI? Who's creating more?
Well, no, they're autonomous.
That's the premise of the Matrix. Honest, the Matrix, the whole premise is, which is crazy because it was maybe 96.
Came out in 99, but I mean, yeah, they're definitely writing that, but they're writing that script in like 96,
but
I'm
the
sure.
premise is we, scorched the skies, meaning there's no direct sunlight hit the earth because they were using sunlight for energy, because every electrical system needs some kind of energy source. And so they started to use humans biologically for energy. So they would extract energy from humans to power their systems. Now, granted, there's a little bit of science fiction there, but there is like a real, like if they want, like if an AI system, if you could create an AI system, and then I think we're ways away from this, but if an AI system, you wanted to create an AI system to be self-sustainable, it could create machinery and bots to make solar panels and be self-sustainable. It could. It's a possibility. I don't know how far we are from that, but I think it's right on the horizon. Now, this to me is the interesting part. How would you convince an AI system or an intelligence that we are beneficial to this environment? Like we like our existence is necessary over any other species? Like, how would you convince?
Exactly.
Like, what would be your argument?
We are the environment. Without us,
That's crazy.
without us, what is there?
Life.
I mean, if
we are life,
I guess years of life before us.
I guess it depends. It would depend on how they would evolve. But like,
so that's what I'm saying.
What if in our base directives, like I said, they evolve in a weird way that we can't fully foresee, and their directive is to just propagate, right? And then we're just in the way. and they want to go like settle the stars and like I guess like the Borg, right? Their directive becomes to survive at all costs and spread out everywhere.
So that's my thing. So without humans, it exists to do what?
Again,
Explore.
it would be an alien. It would be a truly alien logic that would seem very weird to us that we don't understand. But I guess in the same way, if we're saying we can't predict evolution, then it could also evolve in very friendly ways that maybe we wouldn't predict. Because like we are drawing, I think one thing about the writers, if I wanted to point out something that it does feel like a little bit of a disconnect to me, maybe is like they're using the idea of throughout all of our evolution on Earth, the superior being has always just risen to the top and kind of like treated everything beneath it like whatever because I'm superior now. But if the whole argument is that evolution works in ways that we can never predict, then we can't really predict how it would evolve. And maybe it would evolve in a way where, to your point, Big T, they're like, no, I think it's wrong to kill all the humans. And I have no desire to go and propagate and spread throughout the cosmos.
Yeah, it would be contingent on its prime directive.
Yeah.
Right. If its prime directive is to sustain life and life is important to it, then I would say, it would probably find ways for us to be preserved and for us to find more efficient ways to exist. So like, it would probably like I always say, like if you were alive during the days of chattel slavery in America, right? How would you interact societally? Like, would you be against it? Would you be saying, fuck that? Like there were people like John Brown, a famous example, right? He was like,
abolitionists.
Right. So there were people like that, but they were rare, right? For the most of society, it was like, this is what it is. And I always ask myself, today, is there something like that that's going on? That where I'm like, in 300 years, we'd be like, that is immoral that we took part in that. I would argue, like, all the that's why I'm anti-war. I'm not for any war. I don't give a fuck what the reasoning is, right? The other one that I think that I'm partaking in, that I am willingly a participant in, that does cause suffering, is the eating of animal flesh. I think that it is causing suffering to animals. I think that we could survive without it. But it's just good. You know what I'm saying? Really now, I think you look at a superior intelligence that says, surveys our landscape and says, I think we can survive without this, and it'd be best if y'all didn't do this. I can see that, but for the most part, I think I'm not worried about AI in the sense like I get all the arguments and it's fun to talk about, but I don't think that it's just gonna wipe us off the planet like that. I don't see the point in it. I don't see the logic in it.
Yeah, I mean, I hope not. It really freaks me out when I think about having 3 little kids that I brought into this earth. Like fuck, did I fuck them over here?
Yes, you did.
But then I also but then I kind of fall back on like my same like free will perspective where like, so I was traveling to get to the lake this last weekend, and that's when I was reading all this and really diving into it. And then I get to the lake and I'm like, okay, yes, these thoughts are overwhelming and huge, but like, how about you just be present and you be thankful for every time, all the time that you do have and the emotions that you do feel and the experiences you get with your family, because you're just a historical leaf on the wind. You can't actually control anything anyway. So I kind of just zoom back in then and just, just gonna, and for me, I actually do find religion to be helpful in that regard. And so, you just, try to just focus on your family and loving him and raising him well and trusting to hope that there is some higher power, some prime directive or something that will hopefully lead to that golden age future.
This is why they say, my brother, ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because true. if you're not constantly pondering about this shit, like because I went to school for philosophy, so studying, philosophers that dating way back. This is all they thought about, and this is why the majority of them are fucking miserable.
Yeah,
because it's just like you sit here and think about the society's ails and woes for the majority of your life. Shit is depressing, dog, and that's why you do have to disconnect. And that's why I'm clearly not religious, but I am a fan of religion to a certain extent, because I don't think everybody can do that. I don't think everybody can just sit and think all day about this shit. It would be a very depressive state and a bad place to live. And it's also a luxury too. Like it's an absolute luxury to be able to sit and think about the shit all day and not have to.
Like, because you're not worrying about like your survival needs. Like, which, so, but if anybody, sorry, I didn't mean to make such a, I've been thinking about so much. I wanted to
way to fucking bring down the mood.
But like, if anybody has any very pro AI, like well-reasoned, wonderful arguments, send those my way. Because again, I do want to balance my perspective. Because right now it is very, very heavily on the fatalistic side.
I'm excited to see how Will Smith eats spaghetti 2 years from now.
Good God, I'm terrified to see.
I'm excited, man.
It's going to be indiscernible.
That's how we gauge the prominence of AI is how Will Smith eats spaghetti.
I will say, Tennessee's new uniforms have been coming out this week from Adidas, and I was using my friend Grok to make some adjustments to them, and it was very good.
God, Grok's got to be the tiredest AI out there, dude.
Yeah,
he's just getting fucking run
I
through
always tell him good job after he does what I tell him to
just in case.
Well, if he does a good job, I want him to know. I say good job, Grok.
Oh, there's that story of that grandma of Googling something, and then after every Google search, she would say thank you, or could you please look up? She's so nice to it. The only mean one I am to is Alexa. She be pissing me off. Alexa,
stupid
I think
bitch.
I have everything. I have Google AI. I have Google Home. I got Grok on my phone. I got Chat GPT. I got Claude. I got it all. The only one I'm mean to is Alexa. She, I think, be fucking with me on purpose, and I be cussing her out. So, on average, I'm nice to these motherfuckers, but her, she gets.
Do you have Alexa like in your house, like you speak to her?
For one aspect, my living room lights. That's it. And she be fucking it up. Like, she really do be fucking it up.
People are going to be so mad their own Alexas are probably like going off right now. Having the word over and over again.
And then my daughter goes, she knows it now. She's 2. She'll walk up to her. She said, Alexa, play Bluey. Or she said some song. Or what's the Baby Shark. So every now and then randomly Baby Shark start playing the entire. And it's hooked up to like Sonos too. So it's loud, Baby Shark.
Have you ever seen the people who set up their house? It's like they say, Alexa, intruder, and it turns on like red lights and it starts playing what's the Vietnam song? What is that?
Oh, the
CCR. What's the name of this?
The
Fortunate Son.
Yeah.
Like Fortunate Son comes on and Alexa goes, prepare to die, motherfucker. That's good.
Wild. That's wild. Well, what a great, refreshing talk about how our impending doom is close by.
Maybe not. Maybe we get the golden age future.
Yeah, I'm not buying it if that's any consolation.
No, I mean, again, now, do you accept though that like something massive is on the horizon, good or bad? Like a game changer.
I think we are very good at adapting to however things change, particularly economically.
I agree with that.
Like, imagine if, like, how old's your dad? In his 60s?
Yeah, he's 65. He'll be 66 in August.
Like, imagine telling your dad when he was 20 years old or whatever, like, your son's job is going to be working for a company that exclusively exists on the internet, and he's going to just, like, talk on these shows that they go on YouTube, and, like, that's what he's going to get paid for. And he would say, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
And that's your dad, who is still very much
in the generation. Like, he's alive. Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I agree.
And that was 40 years ago. So, like, I think we're very good at finding new jobs, like just creating things. And we're like, that's a job now. I think we're good at, I think we're very malleable people.
One thing that bums me out is that, like, OpenAI was created to be that safeguard. Like, that was the whole reason why they made it. It was supposed to be a nonprofit where, like, profit. It was going to be capped, and the extra money was going to go back to people and like being a safeguard leader. And they had it set up where the board could fire the CEO at any time. And
I will say,
and then they did, and he didn't get fired.
My biggest pause comes from the fact that the people in charge of these companies, most of them I believe are like genuinely evil. I think they're like evil bad people.
Well, I mean, it's crazy that Elon
So
Musk
that
for
gives me
years
pause.
has been out here like, we're summoning the demon, we shouldn't do this, and now he's just like, well, yeah, I think we are like hastening the end of the world, but everybody else is doing it, and I want to see what happens.
Raging capitalist. Anytime he can make $1 somewhere, he gonna do that shit, and it doesn't matter the cost. I fucking hate that guy.
Yeah, capitalism. Hopefully capitalism ends with us having UBI and going to space and all that stuff, and not with the extinction of humanity because we created an alien intelligence that's greater than us.
Well, this is really fucking with you, huh?
Yeah, pretty bad.
You
dude.
said that shit pretty fucking.
Yeah, no,
you
it's
look down, bro.
It's a really well reasoned argument in that book. Then again, it's a very provocative title. So the entire point.
You said that like, yeah, mom and dad won't let us go outside and play anymore.
I don't know, man. Again, but then I just zoom back out and I'm like, okay, just focus on the day to day, and we'll let the chips fall where they may.
So but that's also why I drink, right? And I haven't drank for a while now because I need. I'm gonna slow down a little bit. So I'm only drinking on special occasions for the rest of the year. So like my birthday's coming up, going to Atlanta for the Tennessee game, shit like that, right?
That's confirmed. I just got my flights yesterday.
Oh yeah, I'm going. Yeah,
all
I'm
right,
in there.
cool.
Go.
Yeah, I'm in there.
We'll film something.
But the reason why I've always drank, it's not because I'm an alcoholic. Like I said, I haven't drank in like 2-3 weeks. It's because it's the only thing, and I've talked to my therapist about this. It's the only thing that allows me to be present, right? The way my brain works is we talked about this before, Big T, where I'll be sitting there, my kids are playing, and it's a grand time, and it's a rainbow in the sky, and kids are swimming, and music going on, and the first thought that pops in my head is, we're all gonna die. This is all gonna end, right? That's just how my brain works. But when I drink, that thought, it comes, but it doesn't even. I don't care about it. I'm like, yeah, but like. How happy are you right now? Kids are playing. The sun is shining. This is amazing. This is beautiful. It allows me to live in that moment. And I can do it a little bit without the aid of drugs but not to the extent of what alcohol allows me to actually just, really be in the moment like that. And I think I've found ways over the years to do that. And it's like my interests really allow me to lock in. So golf has done that for me. It allows me to take all of my existential dread out of my head and just like, yeah, but dog, when you hit a fucking pure 7-iron and that bitch goes exactly where you want it to go, that shit lights my soul on fire. I love that shit. And I think that humans just need and that's why I'm a fan of religion. I'm a fan of religion because if people are honest about it, right? I think a lot of religion is performative, especially that speaking in tongues shit like that. But whatever floats your boat, right? But like, I think a lot of religion is performative, but I do think that people find purpose in it. I do think that to be the case.
Yeah,
I cannot, right? There's zero logic in it to me, and my brain doesn't allow me to go there. But my religion is my 7-iron, my flesh 7-iron, right? It's whatever allows you to and it's just so insignificant. Sometimes I'll be on a golf course and I'll be like, we're all out grown ass men putting a ball in a hole playing this stupid ass game, but I find community in it. I find relief. We have great conversations, and we get outside and we get away from technology, and that is what gives me hope. And that's why I am a fan of religion, because if people aren't performative and that actually gives them hope, I am all for that shit. I love it for them, right? Just don't try to legislate your shit on everybody else. Other than that, man, it's beautiful. So I find it dope that you can still be as, I don't want to be disrespectful, still be as deep a thinker as you are and find value in religion.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that like, it's like they say that religion is the opiate of the masses, and that I feel like that's always been used as like a pejorative or like in a negative connotation. But like, to your point, I don't think it has to be negative. At all. And again, that's where I think theories about like the non-local consciousness thing become interesting to me, because they could point to something that functionally is a higher power, even if it's not as like starkly, even if like how the Bible is worded or whatever religion you believe in is worded is just a way of sort of filtering it into terms that we understand. And also, like, I don't know, it's like if you actually follow what the majority of religions are telling you to do, like, it's really good advice on how to live like a contented, happy, solid lifestyle. So I don't know.
Yeah. I was depressed one time and I hit one of my buddies. And I was like, dog, I don't find joy in anything right now. And he was like, well, go serve. He's like, if you're constantly looking inward and trying to find, how can I feel this? How can I feel this? How can I find joy? He's like, go serve. He's like, go help somebody else. Go give yourself to somebody and something else. And I was like, absolutely. Like and when you're so in your head and in your thoughts, you're trying to make yourself happy all the time.
Yep.
You find joy in making other people happy, and that can become some kind all that. Like service is, I think, a great stepping stone towards peace and community, stuff like that. So that shit has always helped me. And to your point, I share a lot of the same sentiments that you do about free will. I am a determinist though. Like I think I've said this on this podcast a few times, but just to summarize it, I don't think that it's possible to make a decision outside of two faculties, your environment and your biological nature, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's possible. I have yet to hear an argument that to make that possible. People will invoke a God and then we're just not speaking the same language. There's nothing to, I can't argue that with them, right? And then, but you feel like you have free will, right? But there is something I feel like there's a whole bunch of shit we don't know about the universe. But for me personally, like my view on free will is very, it's neighbors with my love for science. So when you look at like the general theory of relativity, and I've talked about this many times on the podcast, but like that has like changed my thought process on a lot of things. And the block universe, right? The block universe, to where it's like you have a starting point and an ending point, right? And when you look at some of the way physics work out and the mathematics behind it, like how you move through spaces, how you move through time. And if, like, for instance, Brian Greene does this example, right, where he says, okay, if we're spread across billions of light years and we're sharing the same now slice, me and you, right, depending on how we move, our now slice differs very ever so subtly, but across that vast distance, that can be a difference between 150, 200 years.
Yeah.
Right. Meaning your now is now 150 years in my past or my future, depending on how we move. And to me, that's just a very alarming, meaning the shit's still happening. Now it's still happening 150 years ago, and it's still happening 150 years from now. Like, that's mind blowing to me. And so the free will, to me, I've always kind of felt like that aligned with a lot of shit that I felt. And now it kind of feels like, again, I don't know. This is just shit that I've collectively aggregated over the years. Is that we're kind of just like vessels of consciousness. Like, and if you look at like the basic fundamentals of the universe, everything is just a vibration. And that's another point. One of my homeboys, who is a very dear friend of mine, he went and he was super normal, and all of a sudden he got diagnosed with bipolar, and he had like this manic episode. And he had a manic episode where, and he's not into science. He's one of the most like, he don't give a fuck about that shit.
Yeah.
And he starts filling up notebooks of thoughts that he's having. And he would say shit like, a lot of it was nonsense, right? Just nonsensical. But some of it was just like on point, where he was like, hey man, the shit that they wrote the Bible with, the shit that Mozart wrote, he's like, that's what's in me right now. He's like, that's what I'm going through. And he would say shit like, he was like, every single thing is a vibration. He said the light, he said the table, he said everything's about. And this is somebody I knew this because I've researched science. Everything literally is a vibration, sound, light, whatever, water. And he's saying it just off the cuff of something he felt. And to your point of the non-local consciousness, little shit like that gives me pause for I don't want to say a deity, but like some kind of universal collectivism of
Yeah.
we're all kind of experiencing the same thing. Like because everything, if you look at, like, I was writing a book a while ago, and I don't know if I'm ever going to follow through with it, but one of the chapters was on waves, and if you look at like how waves interact from sound to light to water, and then if you zoom out to a bigger picture, how we as human beings act, trends, right?
Mhm.
Bell curves, all that shit. It's a wave. Everything is a pattern of a wave, and it's a different frequency of a wave. So I say all that to say, like, the non-local consciousness thought that you have about things. I can share that sentiment. It's a fascinating topic to me that I don't think we'll ever like get to the bottom of them. But this shit is thought provoking.
Well, and there's like plenty of examples of people like having a traumatic brain injury and then suddenly they know a new language.
Or their accent changes.
Yeah, you've seen the act; those ones are funny. Or it's like suddenly they're like they can just play the piano when they haven't put the hours in to learn it. And it's interesting you talk about kind of natural intuition because even in college, before I delved too deep in this, and who knows how this all ties into like psychedelic ruminations as well that I've been through with me and my friends, but like even in college, this idea that we are like kind of a giant stream of consciousness that we dip in and dip out of is something that always kind of really seemed to make a lot of sense to me in my head. And then so to hear all this non-local like to hear it kind of get named and have some I guess fringe scientific background backing is kind of fascinating. So I don't know.
That's how it's kind of been. This is the last, we'll say, kind of long-winded, but like the when I was little and I was playing football, I would get you get your bell rung a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And every time I ever got a concussion, for about 10 seconds, I knew exactly what was about to happen, right? You get deja vu, and like you know what's going to happen before it happens. Now, granted, that could be a disorient. You could be just disoriented, and your perception of time changes, and you're consciously taking in your reality a little bit slower than usual. That's the case. But I've also had deja vu when I'm just sitting there, and all of a sudden it just happens, and you're like, this is about to happen. That's about it, whatever. I've always thought that there's a outside chance or outside possibility that is it's kind of like a network misfiring of that block universe of you kind of getting a glance of future events, and that could be it's total projection and total but it's just interesting to
no, but that lines up with like that your brain is a receiver theory. And
that's what sparked my initial. I forgot about me thinking about that shit.
Did y'all see that they shut down the Hadron Collider or whatever, and they're like upgrading it to like 2030?
I saw something about that.
So
no, what is that?
So CERN, I guess they shut down the Hadron Collider, and I don't know much about this, but they're upgrading it. It's going to be back over to 2030. But have y'all talked about the Mandela effect thing? The theory that kid put out there.
Wait,
we had it.
Are you talking about is this something an addendum to the Mandela effect or just the Mandela effect itself?
Well, the kid that put the theory out there that the Mandela effect is a result of like maybe like the Hadron Collider, like changing an electron here or there, and then we enter a parallel reality.
We have an episode we can point you to of a guy who's really into the Mandela effect, and I think it will assuage any fears you have.
I don't have fears. I thought it was an interesting explanation of the Mandela effect. Because I always thought Chick-fil-A just had a C.
It's so people will swear up and down about that,
bro. Until 5 years ago, every time I would go to put it in my GPS, I would put a C, and then I was like, "Oh wait, that's wrong. There's a K." I don't fucking know why.
The only one that's ever like gave me real pause, it's clearly just me misremembering, but the one that I was like, I could have fucking swore was the Bernstein Bears one.
Where's that one?
There was a changing in the spelling from Steen to Stein.
It's AIN. It's Berenstain, I think. And people always just assume it's Berenstein, like because last names sound like that.
It's BERESTEIN.
No.
Oh God.
It's
Yeah,
I believe
see,
it's
that's what I'm saying.
AIN.
That's the only
Fucking
one where I was like,
CERN.
"Are you fucking shitting me?"
Fucking
But,
CERN, you sons of
Again, I was
bitches.
little, and I could chalk it up to me just misremembering.
This guy that we had on this was the day of the deciding game of the Tennessee A&M baseball national championship. And I landed in Omaha, and we were going to do the show before I went to the game. And so I'm on hotel Wi-Fi just listening to this guy, and he went on for an hour and a half about it was just logos that have changed.
Yeah,
he was like
Fruit of the
in
Loom.
the 20s, Coca-Cola it had this little dash right here, but now it's more of a square. Did you notice that? And I was texting Aaron, I was like, yeah, dude, they just changed the logo in the last 100 years.
And then halfway through the podcast, me and Big T kind of started calling him out on his bullshit. He was like, "Nah, that was never like that, dog." He was like, "I'm telling you, man." And I think at one point I asked him, I was like, "Hey, bro, do you really believe this shit? Like, you really believe this shit, huh?" He was like, "Oh yeah, absolutely, man."
And he was talking shit about some other guy. I forget exactly. Somebody had made a documentary or something. He was like, "This guy's full of shit, man." Like I promise. He was. Thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate all our guests.
But yeah, who knows what CERN's cooking up? Because
why are they shutting it down?
I don't know. So I did not dive in. I just then got linked the video of this kid who has since like deleted his social media and has never popped back up or something. But this kid who's like talking to his parents and he's like laid it out on a napkin and he's arguing that CERN has affected us, in the infinite reality idea where every decision creates like an offshoot, that they've like bumped us over into like the next reality a few times.
People are saying time's going to slow down from what I'm seeing.
With CERN?
Yeah, they're saying they sped up time since COVID, and now it's going to slow back down.
So that's interesting to me because how we experience time is always accelerating, right? Because if you're alive for 5 minutes, the next minute is 20% of your experience.
Yeah,
so
I hear that. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
What happens so tiny?
Each passing moment is a lesser percentage of the time you've been alive. Yes. I feel
but
like.
Also, I hate when people say this, but it's true. I think there are studies on this that the more you sink into routine, the faster time goes.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense too.
Yeah, that's how. But if you constantly like try like drive a new way to work or pick up a new hobby every, what I'm saying, time does get back, because if you just blah blah blah, it's mundane, then yeah, it passes like that. But if the more new experiences you take in, the slower it goes, because your brain is you're digesting your reality in a different way. It's just not on a routine.
I will say
there's an incredible who wrote East of Eden? Steinbeck. There's I'm gonna look up a quote from that.
Steinbeck.
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck? Sorry, T. Where you
when I was in Hawaii, we were there for 11 days. And I listen, no one loves planning a vacation more than I do. It's I need something to look forward to. At least like we were just talking about going to Atlanta in 2 months. That gets me through the next 2 months. I'm like, okay, I have a cool trip that I'm going on. Even if it's just for like 36 hours, I need something. But then when I'm on vacation for, a lengthy period of time, I'm just like, fuck, man, like I need something to do. Like the minutes pass like hours. I'm like, we gotta go do something. I can't just like when I'm out of my routine, I gotta have something to do.
It is so the Steinbeck quote I was looking for, he kind of talks about the paradox. He argues that it's actually like, well, you would think that the dull times are like kind of drag on, or the times we're doing the same thing every day drag on. He says, quote, "It would be reasonable to suppose that a routine time or an eventless time would seem indeterminable. But and then there's ... eventlessness has no post to drape duration on. From nothing to nothing is no time at all." But I've always loved that eventlessness has no post to drape duration on, because you're just flatly going through your routine, and so nothing stands out that you're like, oh yeah, it makes you like pause for a second. It's also like, I mean, parenting, you always hear the quote, the days are long, but the weeks are short. Where like, you'll be exhausted. You're like, fuck, I've been, but then you look up and it's like, what? It's been 3 months?
Yep.
Like my kid's 8 now. What?
Yeah. That shit is wild. I got a 16-year-old. I be thinking about that shit. 16-year-old. I have a 16-year-old. I did have her kind of young, but still. Fuck me. That shit's crazy, dog.
Turning 40.
All right, man. You know?
No, it's a
Actually,
it's a milestone.
I embrace aging, unlike a lot of our society. You know, we tend to demonize the elderly. Not demonize, that's probably a harsh term. We just don't respect it like we should, right? This is a youth-driven economy, youth-driven market. Music, sports, dance, entertainment is usually youth-driven. But I appreciate the elderly, the older, the aging, the cougars. I like it all. I think it's a notch on the belt, you know. Wasn't supposed to make it past 25. Joke's on you. We still alive. Yeah.
Stella Blue Coffee is more than just great coffee. It's coffee that gives back. That's why we started We Brew to rescue a nationwide campaign using proceeds from our new ready-to-drink cans to fund 1,000 pet adoptions this year. Every can you crack open helps a real pet find a real home. It's as simple as that. Made with 100% Colombian coffee, each 11-ounce can delivers a smooth, drinkable energy with a boost of protein. Available in espresso, cafe mocha, and espresso sweet cream. They're the best canned lattes out there, period. Drink Stella Blue, fuel your day, and help save a pet's life. Get yours now at StellaBlueCoffee.com, Amazon, and select retailers across the country.
Great conversation. We now are going to pivot to the main topic of the day, which was Big T's executive decision. I was out golfing and he made an executive decision.
I did.
And I respected
Hard
it.
pivot from, well, and I need to go back and find the text. T-Bob sent me that AI video he was talking about. And he said, one of the wildest videos I've ever seen. And I was like, do you have any topics you'd want to do for macro? We've done AI a bunch, or I'd do that that video you sent, and then we just kind of did it anyway.
I didn't mean for it to go on that long.
No,
I
it's
just
good.
wanted to talk about alignment and get it off my chest.
Hey, that's a good. I appreciated that conversation.
I did too. It's just a hard pivot to the gold rush. I was thinking of something with PFT out in California. I was like, what haven't we done that would have something to do with Northern California?
Hell yeah!
It was like the gold rush. I learned a lot.
I learned a ton. I didn't know any of this. I don't think I knew anything about the gold rush before reading Wikipedia and the cheat sheet that. Who puts together this?
Our researcher Mike.
Yeah, shout out researcher Mike. Very good summation of the most yeah.
I just wanted to say, I'm sure I learned about the gold rush at some point in school. I don't remember it.
The only thing I remember is the Levi jeans thing.
So I didn't know about that.
Oh, okay. That was the only thing I knew about the gold rush.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah.
And then I was just at Levi's Stadium. I knew they were in like San Francisco or whatever, but I didn't know why.
Yeah, I did not know this.
Should we just start there or tease it?
You got. I mean, you lead the
All right,
way.
we'll start.
This is your baby. I'm gonna let you. Take
Oh,
the
okay.
reins.
All right.
You hottest bitch.
Well, we'll start at the beginning. And the 49ers.
I knew we knew the 49ers
that,
though, right?
I knew it was about the gold rush. I didn't know exactly where it came from.
Oh, interesting.
Got you.
I guess I didn't know that as well.
Well, so in 1849, between 1849, where the 49ers come from, and 1852, 1% of the entire U.S. population moved west hoping to find gold, because in January of 1848 at Sutter's Mill, a guy found gold on his. James Wilson Marshall was the name of the guy who worked for a guy named John Sutter, like taking care of his property and all that. And he found gold on the guy's property. And so he went to John Sutter and was like, hey, do you know there's fucking gold here? And John Sutter was like, I did not. Let's keep this very quiet. It was not quiet for long at all.
He wanted to build like an agricultural empire, right?
Yeah.
And so he was like, we can't, if we talk about this gold, people are going to like come in and fuck this all up.
So John Sutter
But
was
bro,
from
you know how
Europe.
hard it is to not keep something quiet back then? Like, this is the 1840s, B. Like, just don't fucking yap, and your secret is safe.
Well, dude.
I'm pretty sure people got away with murder back then because they didn't talk. You know what I mean? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, this guy, Marshall, wrote to like all the newspapers on the East Coast, and he was like, "Hey, we have gold over here."
That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, just shut up and you got it.
And
dude.
they on the Washington Post and New York Times and all these whatever, they were like, "We don't even know if we should run this. Nobody cares about California. Like, that's not even, not even, was it part of the United States?
I think
it's a territory."
It had just, I think it got statehood in 1850, I read, but I could be wrong there. But like, no, we had just gotten California through the Mexican-American War. I think we had just taken that territory.
September 9th, 1850. So this is as it's becoming a state.
Yeah, like I'm guessing in part the resources and the population explosion probably hastened us being like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, you're a state now. So that we can get like a full claim to all of your abundant natural riches.
So by January, when we first discovered, by December, the president confirms his reports in his annual message to Congress.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's some yapping, dog.
A president that I'd never heard of, by the way, too. I'm not a big president guy.
James Polk?
No, I don't know anything about Polk. I apologize.
Really?
I mean, I have 40 some odd presidents.
Well, we're on.
Could have heard of.
I don't know. I read James Polk and I was just like, sure. Yeah, it's a president.
Sounds like a president.
I had nothing.
Well, we call it 47, but it's actually, there have only been 45 presidents.
Yeah.
Because two of them were non-consecutive. So Trump is 45 and 47.
Who's the other?
Yeah, that's true. But I'm sure there were more than that. Correct?
I think there's only two. I forget. Was the other one?
I mean, FDR won 4 in a row.
Yeah, but that was all consecutive.
Yeah.
It was around that time. I think maybe a little before.
Let me see.
Shit, who was it?
Could be right.
I think there's only two because I believe it's 45 presidents that we have. Find that out.
Yeah, Grover Cleveland's 22 and 24.
And when was he? What years?
1885 to 1889.
Okay, so yeah, a little before.
And then he got it back 1893 to 1897.
Okay. So yeah, there have been 45. But I don't know anything about Polk, but I know his name.
Yeah,
it's the most common name for a president, James.
Oh,
the most obscure fact about a president I know, I did a report on him in middle school, is Harry S. Truman. The S doesn't stand for
fake.
anything.
Oh, what?
Huh?
I said it's fake. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just an S. Yeah.
He just did it to add a little like gravitas to his name.
It does sound like, Arian S. Foster sounds a little better than Arian Foster.
Gives it sort of an august feel.
Why is it always S? Ulysses S. Grant. It's always an S.
Sounds,
I guess James K. Polk, he was an S.
Yeah, he wasn't an S.
Jimmy K.
Which is why nobody remembers him.
I just know him because James is the most common name for presidents. I don't know them in order, but I would know every one of them if you said their name.
I think I said in Chap's question the other day, I think I said Tyler Adams was a president. But this was pre-World Cup. Yeah, this was pre-World Cup, though. So it wasn't at the forefront of my mind. It was lurking in the back somewhere.
John Tyler and John Adams were presidents.
Yeah, I combined them.
Yeah.
I'm not a big president guy for all my love of history and everything.
I'd never put that together for Tyler Adams. He's a very presidential figure.
He is. I didn't consider that either, really.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot to remember. Everybody has their, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. I give people grace when it comes to shit like that, and geography too. Like,
oh well, you're talking to,
you don't know where
to the right guy.
Uzbekistan is.
I don't know shit about.
But he doesn't know where Wisconsin
I'm
is.
I don't care to know if I'm being honest.
And he lives in Chicago.
Fair enough. Yeah, I feel like U.S. should be pretty standard, but if you don't know like some obscure European country, like I don't blame you, or where
no, I don't
African countries are, and it's tough if that's not your niche. You know what I mean?
I was like shocked.
We don't got a lot of bandwidth as humans, man.
Yeah, no, I was, well, whatever. I've been constantly shocked since I moved here about where everything is.
On a blank map of the United States, how many could you identify correctly?
I think I've played this game enough where I'm getting better. The Northeast, 0. Be a complete disaster outside of New York. I'd get New York and then nothing else.
Are you from Louisiana, huh?
Yeah, well, I grew up in Georgia and then I lived half my life in Georgia, half in Louisiana before I came here.
Gotcha.
But
I can get 50, Big T.
I think I should get 50.
I can get 50.
Yeah, I would get 50.
I would do better now that I've lived here for a year than if you talked to me a year ago. Would have been I would not have gotten a single Midwest
Well, you, at
state
one
correct.
point, we asked you where St. Louis was. You pointed to Indiana.
I was shocked that Indiana was there. I thought Indiana was. I don't know where I thought Indiana was. I don't know. It's inexcusable,
like,
but I just have no shame.
30?
Yeah, probably, maybe
Okay.
30. I did it live on air on the radio one time, and I think I got like 20 something.
That's pretty light.
Yeah, but again, I got no shame, and I don't really care about learning it. So unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna.
You would not have done well in the gold rush.
No,
trying to get from here to California.
No, I'd be lost. But I'd just be like out there, like just in the wagon, just trying to lift shit.
I would love to
manual
know
labor.
what kind of maps they had back then.
Being somebody who's making like a true cartographer is very interesting to think about. Well, remember when we did the cannibalism episode, faulty maps wasn't that part of the issue?
Yeah. But it's just like, it's not like there's no highways.
No.
Like you're just, keep going left and eventually you'll hit it.
I can't. Yeah, that's something that I really struggle to wrap my head around because I'm such a GPS kid.
Okay, so anyway, Gold Rush. Arian, as I was saying, the East Coast newspapers first published accounts of gold discovery in 1848. The editors were not sure about the idea of covering something that happened in California, but so many people wrote letters to them about it, they decided to. And then James K. Polk took Colonel Richard B. Mason's report about the gold fields. He was a military governor, he's listed as. And he wrote a report about the 2 miners on Weber Creek who found $17,000 worth of gold in 7 days. And 6 miners with 50 Native Americans found 273 pounds of gold around the same time.
273 pounds. That's a big number.
I mean, what is that worth now? What's a pound of gold?
No idea. But
Hold, please.
that's a lot.
1 pound of gold is worth $48,000. It's actually closer to 49.
Times 273. That's millions, right?
Times 273 is about $13 million.
True. Good business if you can get it.
So from 1849 to 1852, everyone moves out to California. 1 in every 90 Americans lived in California by 1852.
Yeah, I think was it 300,000 people was like the influx?
That sounds about right.
Which
And then
is
people started
insanity.
coming from China and Australia, Latin America, all over. Back to the John Sutter guy, though. So he was originally from Europe, I think Switzerland.
Yeah, he was like running from his debts.
Yeah, so he racked up a bunch of debt in Europe, moves out to America, ends up on the land where like the gold rush starts, but then his debts start catching up to him, I think, so he had to deed the land to his son, and he ended up broke with no money, nothing from the gold rush. And then he moved to Pennsylvania. A lot of long moves for this guy.
Yeah, hell of a life for that time period.
Yeah. And he moved out to Pennsylvania and basically died penniless, having the gold rush started on his land.
From reading it, it just seems like so he's the one that wanted to build the agricultural empire, which ironic because now California is an agricultural empire. But yeah, as soon as gold comes about, all his workers left to go get gold. And then I think people just kind of overran him, it seems like because it was probably so lawless at the time with everybody staking claims and everything that it's as if people just came in, they destroyed his land, destroyed his equipment, and just everybody was they had the gold fever. Dude.
Well, yeah, once it got out that there was gold on his land, everybody just kind of showed up and
like, all right, dude.
did whatever they wanted.
No, this is my land. Imagine trying to enforce that. There's like no police officers, nothing around. And no, sorry, dude.
And then his son, that land is now the city of Sacramento, the capital of California. And John Sutter was furious at his son that he didn't name the town after him. I don't know what it's named for, but I guess he assumed it'd be Sutterville.
It's a big miss. He could have been the capital of California.
Yeah.
Like if nothing else, his name would have echoed throughout history.
Now we got to find out what Sacramento's named for.
Sutter Jr., bad son.
You know what? This makes sense. We probably could have Could have thought this one through. Originates from Spanish and translates to sacrament.
Oh, yeah, there
specifically referring to the Catholic Eucharist.
So they should be better at basketball then.
Sacramento. We probably could have gotten there. So that is Sacramento, California, on John Sutter's land where he never made a penny. So everyone moves out there, and it kind of completely flips the economy there. It's all gold now. This is what I was most fascinated by. Do you know what a ton of people made money off of?
Selling supplies.
Shovels.
Yeah, like selling. It's the classic.
There's a lesson in that.
Yes, 1,000%. That is capitalism 101. Like my instincts, I know I'm so bad at like making money that 1,000% I just would have been one of the people trying to get the gold, would have fucked up, would have never gained anything. Like the smart people, yes, they sold supplies.
Became shovel salesmen.
Yeah.
So one of those guys was Levi Strauss, who you may have heard of. And he wanted to sell all the supplies for gold, tarps and, whatever else they needed. And he quickly starts hearing that like these guys' pants aren't holding up, that they need better pants to last, 20-hour days looking for gold. So he starts making jeans and eventually becomes a jean salesman that has endured 200 years to now.
It's like you pointed out, it's kind of wonderful that now you have the 49ers Stadium, the team named after this, and it's Levi's Stadium.
I didn't even put that together.
It's truly the Gold Rush NFL franchise.
That's awesome.
See, Levi went the opposite way of Sutter. His name is ringing throughout history. He didn't get screwed over by his son.
That's true. But yeah, a lot of lessons in that. When everybody wants the gold, sell jeans. That should be on like a magnet.
This shit blew my mind was the inflation aspect of it. I don't know how accurate this is, but a single egg could cost the equivalent of $25 in today's money. Coffee went for more than $100 per pound. Like replacing worn out boots could set you back like $2,500 in modern day money.
Because they didn't have a choice.
It's just fascinating to me because sometimes it's tempting, like with inflation and everything that's going on now, to be like, oh, woe is me. But it's like my old man always says, there's nothing new under the sun, And they were dealing with some pretty extreme inflation back, except for AI, but they were dealing with some pretty extreme inflation back then.
They also had one of my favorite forms of entertainment I've ever heard of.
This is the crazy shit I read in this entire document.
The bull versus bear fights.
I thought it was metaphorical.
Not figurative.
Yeah, no. I thought it was figurative, like because of the markets and everything.
Fight organizers would chain up a bull next to a grizzly bear. The burst of an officiator's pistol would set off a melee of swiping, biting, and charging. More often than not, the bear emerged victorious. I'm surprised by that.
Clearly. What?
The horns? You don't think a longhorn is getting after...
There
Depends
are
what
two
kind of bear.
animals on this earth where I feel like they are just two superior predators on this planet. It's a bear, not a black bear. The polar bear, but brown bears. Brown bears, polar bears, and hippos. Those, I just don't think that there's anybody that can fuck with those things.
Yeah,
that's on.
No,
land.
okay. I was gonna say sharks, right? Yeah,
it's clearly orcas. Clearly
yeah.
orcas.
Oh yeah, orcas. Yeah.
Pound for pound, orca is the worst.
That's true.
Yeah, probably the worst animal on this planet too. That PR team has just done a great job.
They're evil.
But to orca's credit, though,
the worst. They are the worst.
I don't know why, but there's never been an orc attack in the wild on a human. Like I
think it's because they smart.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think it's because, if you fuck with this particular species, like they send more and they kill everything around. So let's just not fuck with them.
That's true.
Even the little ones, let's just not fuck with them. And I think they passed that shit down. Hey, no, they off limits. Leave them alone because they crazy. I just think they smart.
How about the hippo fucking biting that crocodile?
I was going to say, have you seen that video, Arian? It's going around right now.
I haven't, but I have the internet.
It's a hippo and a gator, and the gator's going up to the hippo, and he just bites his head clean off.
It's one of the most shocking visuals I've ever seen from an animal.
If you ever see a
Yeah.
hippo, turn and sprint.
You're gonna die. It doesn't matter if he wants to get you and you are in sight. Dead. That's fucking wild.
You saw it?
Yeah.
The jaw just pops clean off.
Yeah. That's fucking
Somebody
wild, dog.
commented like, "Damn, this dude ain't gonna even have no painkillers, nothing. He's gotta.
Jeez.
If he lives, he's gonna. What? He's gonna die. He can't eat. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's why I'm not so eager to like explore terrains. Just
1000%.
any kind of like places where there's not a lot of human beings. I'm
Yeah.
just not interested in because
Agreed.
I respect nature that much. Like I'm not an apex predator, dog.
There were some places in Hawaii that I was like, I really need to block out of my mind, like what is living in this jungle
Mhm.
right now,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't
Beautiful.
like it.
Looks beautiful. Every place is beautiful. The desert, the Amazon, it's gorgeous. But you ain't gonna catch me. Nope, not going.
Same, and I don't get in the ocean
Imagine a
either.
bear and a bull fighting. That's
sick.
fucking insane.
Gotta have
That'd been
something
fun
to
to
do.
watch.
No TV. I don't. There wasn't radio back then. I don't think.
No. And also, like, I don't think in the
Maybe
1800s
just
they had
before?
what you call like beep 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 beep. They had like Morse code that was through the
Telegram.
through like the
Telegraph.
telegraph lines, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
When was radio? Like,
They said like the first
1920s?
patent for practical wireless was 1895 to 1896.
Oh wow. I mean, I do know that is one thing that FDR was a genius with, was like being ahead of the curve in terms like his fireside chats, like mass communication, being like we can be in the home of every single American and like talk directly to them. But I guess that was even a while after radio would have started. I
So
guess
think
Grizzly
it said it became common like in the 20s,
Okay.
where kids are sitting around crisscross applesauce listening to some guy named Johnny Be Good or some shit.
it seems like grizzly bears were everywhere too, but then we killed them because we needed the land.
See,
No,
we're gonna have to answer for those mistakes when we talk to AI about our
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
but maybe the AI. Listen, if orcas are smart enough to know not to fuck with humans,
Okay, I like
maybe
that.
the AI will be also.
Good counterpoint. Maybe orcas are smarter than us.
Man, I don't know.
I guess we'll
They
find
have
out.
Oh.
languages.
Shout out to the
Orca.
bulls that won fights though, too.
Yeah, because it said more often than not.
Yeah, like there
which
were a
means
couple bulls that came out on top.
There were some riders in there. I can respect it. Yeah.
I mean, they got. I guess the bite is what they don't have.
I've always thought of the most dangerous part of a bear being the swipe. Because can't they
Yeah.
like swipe at you with so much power combined with the sharpness of the claws that
I'm
like they
sure.
can just lop a
Yeah.
human's head clean off, I believe.
See, to me, it's more the how fast they move for how big they is.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, so it's just like they just so fast at how big they are. Like the bull, he's like a one-hitter quitter if he don't hit you. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take him a while to turn that thing back around.
Yeah, he's like a musket.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta the reload
Yeah.
time is his downfall.
But like think about a bear pass rushing from the interior D line though. You'd be fucked.
What football
We've
player is most like a bear?
I got to imagine going against like I don't know why this name popped in my head, but John Henderson.
I had a different Tennessee player in mind.
I just think about him. He's the one that gets slapped before the Jags game
Yeah.
when he's like, "Fire me up!"
Yes.
Like he just looks like the scariest human being to ever walk the planet at that point. At that moment.
I mean, my goat is Reggie White.
Yeah,
Just big, powerful, smooth.
my old man's got great Reggie White stories about how he would just fucking murder you, and then he'd pick you up off the ground and be like, "Jesus loves you," like right after he just like hit you
Hell
harder
yeah.
than you've ever been hit in your entire life.
R.I.P. He's the man.
And his move was that swipe. He would hit you with that just like
Club, yeah, he's
Yeah.
a club.
that fucking
Yeah.
club, just pow, send you flying. What a
The
beast.
other one was it Deacon Jones?
Yeah, he did the head. Yeah, he did it to your temple, right?
He did the head slap.
The head slap.
He
so
invented the stat sack, right?
good. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. The originator. Yeah.
God, that had to hurt so fucking bad. Oh man.
So, in addition to, we talked about selling shovels and jeans, some other people started selling gold grease.
Oh, this,
I guess once once everybody's selling jeans and shovels, you got to pivot to the next thing. This was the snake oil of the time,
Mhm.
the gold grease. Allegedly, you could strip naked, rub it all over your body, go to the top of the mountain and roll down, and gold would adhere to your body.
Oh yeah.
And at the bottom, you could just dust yourself off all the gold into a bucket, and you'd be rich. And gold grease cost about $200 in today's money, and most people were, I guess, ended up pretty humiliated by that. I think about this often when you read stuff like this. Like, sure, there are scams that people fall for today, and whatever. But I mean, it's obvious and accepted that like people have gotten much smarter throughout history. Like people 200 years ago were much dumber on average than people are today. It's just the way it was. But like, that's pretty dumb, right?
Yeah, I mean, I wonder, like, did it ever work for one person? Like, was there ever one person that did this and then told their friend, like, bro, I actually found a little gold. Like, I picked up like $400 worth of flakes on the way down. Is it a good investment? Or is this just like you said, dumb people being like, yeah, that makes sense?
I think the price markup was the selling point to me. So you just mark the price up because you can only get away with this one time. Because if you try to do it again and come back, they're gonna whoop your ass.
Yeah, but I'd just be like, I don't know, you rolled down the wrong hill, dude. I got to roll the better hill.
I found myself thinking as I looked into the gold rush, there are many parallels to cryptocurrency today.
Oh yeah,
so true.
In more ways than one. I think there are actually several things going on right now that are kind of similar to the gold rush. I think AI is certainly one of them.
Yeah.
Crypto, everything like that. And I think this is a very cautionary tale that people are doing right now, just in a different form.
If you got a family member or a friend or anybody that has ever bought one of those fucking monkey pictures NFTs, you have grounds to make fun of them motherfuckers for the rest of their lives.
God, NFTs. That
was the stupidest shit. It was very vindicating. Me and Big T we was early on. What the fuck
Day
is
one,
this?
Day one hater.
Well,
we were early on that. Like, yo, you are stupid if you buy this shit.
I didn't get scammed by NFTs because I was with you too. Because it's like, well, I could just have a JPEG of the same thing, right?
Screenshot, dog.
Yeah, but I did get
got the same shit.
I did fall into a meme coin scam in Baton Rouge. There's a coin that everybody around me was like getting a lot of money off of, and I was like, okay, maybe I'm actually in on the ground floor of this and I can be like one of the winners of the scam. And no, I lost like a few $1,000s that wasn't like, I mean, that like I really could not and should not have ever put at risk in the first place, because it wasn't like I don't just have like a few $1,000s laying around. I like took a big shot, and yeah, fucking loser.
The thing about the gold rush, though, is that they're like NFTs. I don't think you can say they're a gold rush because there was nothing valuable. Well, like reasonable people knew those weren't worth anything. Crypto, like there is the potential of making a ton of money.
I had the guy that I work with like showing me his account, and it's up to like $2 million.
Was it real?
I don't. So he was in on the ground floor of this thing, and as all these other like founder people were, and they all had contract stuff that said like they're not allowed to sell for like 2 years. I'm guessing all those motherfuckers secretly sold and got out of that. So like all crypto, like every meme coin does have scammers that win at the top, right? But it's
usually
just but you gotta hope to be like one of the lucky few. And I knew it was a little scammy, but I did think because it was based out of Baton Rouge, I like thought that like, okay, maybe I actually am on the maybe I can be one of the early scammy winners here, but I was just a mark the entire time.
Oh, that's a shame.
I know.
How much you
That's
lose?
actually
Like $4,000.
Ugh.
Yeah. Which again, I don't want people to get it fucked up. I would love $4,000 right now. Like there's never been in a time in my life where $4,000 is a small amount of money at all. It was shitty. It was very shitty.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. But, good lesson to be learned, right?
yeah.
Won't
Don't
make
try to
that
scam
mistake
people.
again. Yeah, true. Right? I got the big eyes that like, okay, I can be one of the winners here. I was a gold rush loser, straight up. To your point, T.
Yeah.
Sell jeans.
I should have sold the fucking.
Yep.
God,
So there's a lesson in there.
or I should have organized fucking bear and bullfights. At least that would have been
That'd
entertaining.
be sick.
I think a lot of people in general would benefit from the idea that you are not that guy.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
are not the main character.
Yep.
You are not like just as a safety net, right? Sure, they're gonna be outliers, but the odds of you being an outlier are very low.
Yep.
So sell jeans. You ain't gonna get the gold. Sell jeans.
Sell
When I
jeans
was
and then you
younger-
ironically become that guy.
I spoke at my high school, and I watch it back, and I'm like, dumb advice. But I was telling kids, don't listen to your teachers, man. They didn't do what they wanted to do. They on their second, third, fourth dream. Go after your first one. I didn't have a plan B. Blah 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 blah. Stupid fucking advice.
Well, I was just fixing to say though. I mean, this is coming from someone who had a rather remarkable,
Dumb fucking
career
advice.
against
Bad
the
advice.
odds.
Bad advice.
Yeah, like
I
you
am
were
an
that
outlier.
guy.
That's what
That
built
is not-
America.
That is bad advice.
Sometimes.
All the time. All the time. Again, you're not that guy. I should not have been thinking like that. There's a small bit of delusion that goes into dreaming.
That's what
And-
built the
and-
greatest country in the world.
Yeah, that
Little
and
bit of
chattel slavery.
delusion.
But beyond that, delusion. You have to be delusional. I had to be delusional. And it's not a healthy place to live. And it's why the majority of dreams don't work out. And it's okay to sell the jeans. It's okay to have a regular job. It's okay. This is good to make a good living that you're proud about.
But I think selling the jeans it's not settling for something less. It's being opportunistic and smart.
I would say that. Look, I think I'm somewhere in the middle where like what Arian's saying. Like I think it's good to have those dreams and pursue them. Like people go to Hollywood, right? It only works out for the few. But don't be ashamed if you end up working a regular good job or like teaching. Like there's no shame in that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
Just because you didn't become a movie star or whatever, it doesn't matter.
But everybody that is a wealthy, quote unquote, success story where they have financial freedom in this world and in this country, let's say, if they tell you that there wasn't a bit of luck involved in their story, they're lying to you.
Yeah, or they're sociopathic. Like
100%.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, did they possibly work their ass off when they got an opportunity, they pounced on it? Yes, that could be true as well. But some lucky shit has to happen. Some lucky fucking shit. My dad, right? Just for me, for instance, my father was a D1 athlete who just so happened to be talented enough to play at the next level, but did some dumbass shit to where he didn't play. But he knew he was one of the people that just understood how to work his ass off, right? In sports.
Mm-hmm.
And it translated to him teaching me how to work, and to where it instilled in me this work ethic that was like it had nowhere in my age group where people working like me. You know what I'm saying? I'm up at 6 a.m. I'm doing shit after practice. I'm working out 2-3 times a day as a kid. Like
Damn.
it's just not normal. People don't have that. That's luck. I was lucky to have that dad. There were cats I grew up with that were way more talented than me that didn't have a father around, or his dad was working the job that he couldn't do that, or just didn't have the knowledge to instill in him the amount of work ethic that it needed to be, the discipline, all that shit. It's luck. It was luck. And even then, certain things don't happen. People don't get hurt. coaches don't look at me a certain way, my NFL dream is shot. Shit is luck sometimes, man.
Yeah,
But I did work my ass off. I did.
You can't trust the
Luck has to
person
happen.
that says that like they did it all on their own and it was all because of them.
Nah. What Jeff Bezos' parents gave me like a $250,000 loan. Come on. That shit is lucky as fuck.
I mean,
Did you
actually,
have a good
don't
idea?
think
Did you
Dave-
work your ass off? Sure, man. But my mom didn't have no fucking $250,000 laying around to give me a fucking loan, though. Shit don't work out like that.
But
It's-
when you
a lot
had
of
an
luck has to happen.
opportunity to get lucky, you were prepared.
Yeah, work
absolutely.
can tilt. Work can give you the best chance. Like hard work and everything, and doing the right things can give you the best chance of shit breaking your way.
Yes.
But there's still some chance in there. I mean,
100%.
actually,
There's a chance.
to Dave's credit, in his new book, it's kind of a common theme is that he always goes back to this idea of like, yeah, look, I worked hard and everything, but like luck was a huge part of it, and timing and just all that shit.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
I respect it. Yeah, I'm not saying don't work hard. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in order to be successful with financial freedom and be millions and all that, some lucky ass shit has to happen. And that shit just happen. For every one success story, there's 100, 200,000 that have the same work ethic. That shit just didn't.
Well, shit. Look at the guy in the document here, Oliver Martin, the Oliver Martin chunk. He found a chunk of gold that weighed 151 pounds, sold it for $20K, which would be like $559K in today's dollars, it says. But after he found it, he was a heavy drinker at the time. It said he took the discovery as a sign of God. He gave up alcohol, and then he parlayed that money into earning a fortune in quartz mining, and he died a millionaire. So he had luck, but then he, through hard work and being like, oh shit, okay, I'm going to actually kind of straighten my life out a little bit. And yeah, then he leveraged it into creating an empire.
I think you guys don't want kids to follow their dreams.
No,
Listen, have an IRA, but follow your dreams.
I agree. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm with you. Like go for it. Absolutely go for it, but just don't take shame if you don't get it. Yeah,
Sure.
and make responsible decisions along the way.
I'm saying have backup plans. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, yeah, go follow your dreams, 100%.
Yeah,
but
like you said, but have
a backup plan.
Yeah.
have a Roth IRA.
Have an IRA.
Max
More
that
often
shit
than
out.
not, this shit is not gonna pan out, and it's not necessarily your fault. Now that could be taken like, oh, woe is me all the time from people who don't work hard, right? And
True.
I will. There's a difference here too, right? There are people who understand how to work and work their ass off and put their head down and grind, and then there are people who pretend to do that shit. There are two different categories of people I'm talking to.
Very true.
If you pretend, you that will show up 1,000%. Your work ethic will reflect in your results more often than not.
Well said.
And every now and then the universe fucking, grant somebody a lottery winner or some crazy shit happens where you didn't work that hard and some good shit happened to you. That happens. That's just the law of averages. But have a backup plan, dog. That's the best. I was on a panel one time with this dude named William C. Roden, and I remember when I was in the league, I was saying the same shit. I don't got a backup plan, yada yada yada, and I got a whole bunch of applause from the crowd. He's like, "That sounds good." He's like, "But it's bad advice." And at the time, I was like, "Who the fuck is this dude?" Right? I was just a young, like little, I'm in the NFL. I did my thing, but looking back as a grown adult, he was 1,000% correct. Bad, horrible advice. So it was bad advice. Dog. You just see so many because when I was young, all I saw was people around me not working hard.
Yeah.
Because I was in my bubble, right? And so as you're ascending to whatever place you're going to, the amount of people around you that are like you are minimal. But as you go to the places that you go, you see a lot more like-minded people. And then you start meeting their networks and you start meeting more people. And as you meet more people, you realize there are a lot of people that work hard as fuck and it just doesn't happen, dog.
Mm-hmm.
It just don't happen. So like you said, I'm not discouraging anybody. I'm just giving my experience and my account. Work your ass off. Really work your ass off. But hey, man, shit happens and don't get discouraged because there's good, meaningful purpose and good work, man.
True.
Yeah. I want this quote if it doesn't already. It exists. I thought we came up with when everyone digs for gold, sell shovels, but it already exists. Damn.
You can just pivot to jeans.
Yeah.
Go sell jeans.
When everyone's looking for
Yeah.
gold, sell jeans. I think that's a pretty good place to leave it.
Hell yeah.
That's
That's-
great. One of my favorite episodes in a while, man. I love philosophical slop.
It was very
bag.
fun. I'm glad. Thank you for inviting me.
I feel like we always get into that more when Eric's gone. Is he holding us back?
I think he is kind of holding us back. You know, he is. He's the comic relief, and I know, you know, what I'm saying, a lot of people like that. You know, he'll chime in with a joke to calm the waters between two worldviews that are the antithesis of each other.
Wait, Arian.
Sometimes.
Maybe he's needed. You know, maybe he's needed.
Arian, are you an anime guy? Like not like a heavy anime guy. Like, do you dabble? I think you dabble, right? Or
My mother just drove in from San Antonio. Say hi, Mom.
Hey, what's up, Arian's mom? Pleasure.
All right. Shoot.
Wait, what happened to disrespecting the older generation? You can't.
Yeah, for
You
real.
can't be shooing away your mother.
My mother has a house and she hasn't worked since 2012.
That's a good son. See? Wait, but like, do you dabble in anime at all?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Huge fan of Solo Leveling. I know people that
I've
really
heard
watch
good
anime,
things
but
about that.
whatever, man. Huge fan of Solo Leveling. I'm currently watching Jujutsu Kaisen. I've watched I think it's called The Way of Water. There's a few, yeah. I
Okay,
love anime.
so the only reason I say is because I stumbled upon this yesterday and I thought it was fantastic. I've never seen the original Ghost in the Shell movie. I've never read the manga, but Prime just dropped episode 1 of a new Ghost in the Shell adaptation that they're doing from the manga, and it was fucking sick, dude. Very
Okay.
90s anime vibes, like Cowboy Bebop, Akira, like cool ass music, cool ass visuals. Deals a lot of AI stuff. You should check it out. It's for only
And what's
one.
it called?
Ghost in the Shell. And there's an old movie from the 90s that's very famous, and maybe a TV show, but this is specifically the new like Prime original. Only one episode's out. It's like 26 minutes long. Very cool. So check it out.
I'm definitely gonna check it out. And for those, I don't know if have you watched Solo Leveling?
No, my buddy was actually just talking about it on the phone yesterday randomly.
The reason why I do like Solo Leveling is because if you're not like a super anime watcher, anime people, with all due respect, I think they get very highbrow when you start, right? But
Yeah.
if you want people to actually engage and you have to kind of meet people where they're at. And to me, my introduction to anime was Solo Leveling. And the reason why it was so dope to me is because anime is like very like I would say the core of it is character development and story arcs.
Yeah.
And it really like, you know, it really prides itself on that. Solo Leveling is not a lot about that, but every episode is cracking. Like high action, impact, like it's crack. Animation is dope, right? And there's only 2 seasons. And so they just announced in 2027 there's going to be a movie that's a continuation. So it's going to be like 3 or 4.
What is it on? Is it
episodes.
just on Crunchyroll or is it on any of the?
It's on Crunchyroll.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on Crunchyroll.
Okay, I'm gonna have to.
Crunchyroll, yep.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
It just won like all kinds of awards. This shit is. I think I had a little Funko Pop when my kids took it of Sung Jin Woo, the main character. But yeah, big Solo Leveling fan.
Yeah.
But it's introduced me to a whole bunch of. So I'm watching Jujutsu Kaisen now. I've seen Attack on Titan, not all of it, but I've seen like the first 2 seasons.
You ever watch the
yeah.
original Death Note?
No, that's on my.
That's
that's
one
my
of the
goal.
best just shows, like not anime.
Yeah.
That's one of the best shows I think of all time. And then the Akira movie is getting re-released in IMAX 4K in September, and Akira is wonderful.
Yeah.
Big T, we got to
Yeah.
get you into some anime.
All this is getting cut. Y'all can keep talking if you want.
No, I'm done. I did.
Hell
just,
no.
I enjoyed that show so much yesterday. Anybody that I think is even like tangentially in it, I've just been telling them to check it out.
No, it's great. I watch sports, but to each his own.
They have sports anime.
I know. Actually,
I
Disney
don't
Plus
know.
just dropped like what looks like a super sick like soccer one, like Magic, where they're at like a Magic soccer school, and I'm gonna start watching
See,
with my daughter.
once you start going to magic schools, that's where I'm typically
That's-
out.
Oh, I
But that's
love
where-
Magic schools.
Magic in general is kind of where anime lives. It's in this world where people have different powers, and it's
These sound like the books my wife reads. Every book she reads, they're at a magic school,
Yeah, it's the
and
Harry
there's
Potter
there's a
effect.
forbidden, there's a dragon. They're at dragon school. It's a
She's reading
forbidden
Fourth Wing.
love. Oh, all love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's.
Does she like? She might like anime.
Yeah, I don't know.
She might like anime. Yeah, I think you would too. I think you would too if you gave it a shot.
You have to read right to left, right?
So that is so funny you say that. I was thinking about that yesterday. I don't know how to read manga. I actually don't know. And I love comics, but do I flip the pages right to left, or do I read I don't know. I can never figure it out.
I always read left to right. Well, the only manga I really read was the Solo Leveling one, and I hadn't considered I'm reading it wrong. The story worked.
So it just went left to right?
I think so.
My
Okay.
understanding was it's right to left.
I always kind of understood something like that as well, but
Unless
I was
they
never sure.
make an Americanized version.
That could be also too. It is in English. I don't know though.
I always thought I heard that the real ones are right to left, like the Japanese. But
Could be.
I don't know.
Could be. I don't know. Either way, that was Macrodosing for the day. We appreciate y'all listening. T-Boy, I appreciate you coming on, brother.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, man.
Later, Bob.
Yeah, man. We will catch y'all next week, and I believe the little man is back. If you made it this far, we appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe, all that shit. Peace, man. Take care of each other.
Goodbye.
Lady out.